That was a bad joke.
I liked it. I kind of liked it.
Okay. Oh, hey, we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Cloak and Stagger. I'm JD, and as always, joined by our intrepid heroes here at the table as well.
Hello.
I hope you're all having a fantastic evening. It's the weekend. We made it.
We made it.
Nobody get excited or anything. Jeez.
Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Sorry, do we have audio?
God. Hello. Anybody here?
Testing.
Yeah, testing. 1, 2.
I don't want to overmodulate.
You cannot overmodulate. This is the perfect, impenetrable, unbreakable
You know what
system.
Barney says? Challenge accepted.
Yeah, here we go. God dang it. This is our second session. Session 2 of our Ghost of Saltmarsh campaign. And just as a reminder, for anybody who potentially swung through last Friday looking for us, this is a bi-weekly campaign. We're doing it every other Friday. Eventually, we will have another campaign run by this gentleman over here, which will be on the alternate Friday. So we'll go back and forth.
Your mic sound a little staticky right now, actually.
Huh?
It says there's no bass in your mic or something. Sounds kind of weird. Like the camera's out of focus, too. Whole bunch of problems for you right now. Pulling up. Piling on.
I mean, the camera looks fine on mine.
Go
I
get
mean,
that
maybe
bass.
my voice can use a little more.
A little more oomph.
Yeah.
Go hit that bass.
Yeah, it might be your internet, Bacchus. I don't know. Set it to 720p's. That's the good P's. Well, the most.
It is the good Ps.
The most P's we're offering right now, please.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, everything looks okay on the monitors. I don't know. I can't see chat either, so I'm just kind of living vicariously through what they're telling me here. Now I lost my train of thought here now. What were we doing tonight?
We're playing
Spanish class.
Castles and
Dungeons.
Crusaders.
That's it.
Classic WoW.
Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me tonight. Y'all are going into a cellar.
I keep it on stream.
Man,
so
And
you
we
make
are
sure
still
it's okay.
squishy babies.
It's wise to remember that.
Mm.
All right, so we need to do. I'm so out of practice at this. I don't know what to do with my hands. So as always, we're going to do recap, and whoever does the recap and gives me a good recap will get inspiration for this session. If you don't use it,
You lose it.
thank you, single person who knew the answer. What happened last time?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Buckle in, everyone, because these are some good notes. Today is Saturday, the 20th of Tarsak. Redimir is walking down the street. It's pretty lively. He passes the Wicker Goat. It's a tavern. Hear them arguing about free food and drink at the empty net. Mr. Primewater is throwing a feast. Coulter approaches Redimir. They talk about what just occurred. Colt shares normally it's dwarves and the guard that typically frequent the Wicker Goat. They head to the empty net, which is another tavern. It looks a bit of a nicer crowd than usual. Normally it's known to catering smuggler types. The crowd here is a bit more upscale. Redimir and Colt see an orc and human standing at the stairs. The orc seems to be collecting the tickets. Kugal and Aelin are who's there. They all exchange pleasantries. Aelin, decide to head inside with Redimir and Colt. It's nautical themed in here. Mr. Primewater sees Colt and walks over to us. Mr. Primewater seems to be a fan of Colt's, let me tell you. I am truly in awe of the service we are getting because of Colt. Colt says everyone is a friend. He saved a boat from sinking that had a bunch of fish on it. A guy nearby says something about rather have the gold. Yon is his name, a shipwright. I don't know who that is. He taught Colt everything he knows. Mary is our waitress. She's hooking us up with a platter because of Colt. Again, just MVP here. There are games being played. Overall, I won 12 gold. Mr. Primewater begins a speech. He thanks the carpenters for saving the boat, says there were 3 lives lost in the event. Captain Orvad was on the ship that nearly went down. Mr. Primewater thanks Colt for his quick thinking on saving the ship. Colt is asked to come and say a few words. We cheers and get back to eating and drinking. We hear a commotion, though, from the back room. There are crazed rats running out and starting attacking everybody. A few guards come in to help. I assist the woman who is severely injured. The once joyful tavern is in a panicked disarray. Cole asks the chef, what happened that caused all of this? The chef says he heard some scratches, so he opened the cellar door and the rats came out in a frenzy. Colt calls us all over and says we need to investigate it. I light my torch magically and take point heading down.
You did light a torch.
That was a good recap. So you do get inspiration this evening. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. I even color-coded the people names versus the locations in town, so I'll know looking back what's what.
How thorough.
How thorough.
What color's my name?
Blue.
Oh, what am I?
You're also blue. People's names in that session were blue.
We're both blue.
Yeah.
Because red.
This time they're going to be different colors though, so my brain can stay sharp.
It's good. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we find ourselves back in the back room, adjacent to the kitchen, staring at a hatch that looks to descend down into the cellar beneath the Empty Net Tavern. A couple of the guards are still here with you, one of which already said he wasn't going to go down into the cellar. He was going to stay up here. The other one volunteering to go down there with you. And it's about this time you hear a bit of a commotion coming from behind you from like the main dining area. And a few moments later, you see, Kugal and Aelin. You see a familiar face. You see Kreb actually angrily make his way into the kitchen and looks around and you see his gaze pause momentarily on Aelin and Kugal. But then turns to the guard and kind of tells them to leave. He says, "We've got it from here."
Mr. Kreb? Hey, how you doing? It's good to see you, but
Yeah, good to see you. Who are you? Why are you in my kitchen?
You see, there was a thing going on. There was a party here, right?
I'm aware.
You know about the rats that just tore everything up?
He looks at the rat corpses just lying everywhere and just gazes back at you.
So you see. So they came from, we believe, there, and I start pointing towards the cellar.
You're telling me these rats came from my own cellar?
Well, that's what we're about to find out, but I was going to take Mr. And I kind of like pop the guard on the arm a little bit, just while still looking at Kreb. Mr. Come on, man, what's your name?
I don't want anything to do with this, man. And you see him turn to leave. And Kreb says, "We handle our own business here. Look what happened when we let the guards look out for us. Gellin begged and begged. We have to have the guards here. Now my tavern's full of dead rats. We'll handle it." And the other one sort of shuffles out of the room.
Okay, so all right. Well, we were gonna
Touch my hand to the shoulder and I send you a message that you don't know I can do. We should leave. You hear in your head. And then I'm like, it's me. Let's go.
Kugal, what? You were running the door for a bit. What did you see?
Well, I wasn't by the door when the rats attacked, but they came from the kitchen as far as we could tell.
They said it came from the cellar. And he would have seen you kind of with one foot in, heading down there. Have you looked down there?
Well, not yet. I can't see in the dark very well, so I just lit my torch, and I was gonna go, but then you came in, and that's where I'm at right now.
All right, let's go.
Okay. I start walking down.
I wait for them to pass, and I'm gonna lean into Redimir. Did you just talk in my head?
I guess we should be going.
That is crazy, and I'll follow behind.
Crap, that was very weird. We were just enjoying a fine meal here, and then all of these rats just started attacking everybody.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, we were gambling earlier, and it was a lot of fun. And then it seemed like things were, like, simmering down. Maybe like, okay, everybody leave. And the rats just came out from this room, and we asked I think he was a chef, maybe, I don't know, a line cook possibly. I'm trying to understand the kitchen dynamic, but he said, I heard scratches on the cellar door, and I opened it, and they came out in a panic.
We did our best to take care of it on our own, but I think we might have to go looking for answers.
Well, I suppose I am grateful you two were here. The guards are useless.
You know, I cured someone out there, too. I healed her nice up. So you shouldn't have a medical malpractice on your hands, I hope. Maybe pain and suffering, but I'm not sure.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
We can't have people thinking they're going to come here and be attacked by rats every single time they decide to sit down for a drink.
Right.
While
I suppose, though, maybe the lack of attention wouldn't be the worst thing, regardless.
While she's talking about medical malpractice, I'm ejecting another cartridge from my glove, twisting it to where a needle pops out, and stabbing it into my leg again. And casting Cure Wounds. Which is gonna heal me for... Oh, not bad. 10. I'll take it.
Nice.
You okay?
Oh, I'm fine. I just, you know, the rats, they get on you, and they got the sharp teeth and whatnot. They even got through my armor a bit, which...
He's a drug addict, yes. We're fine.
I'm not a drug addict. I'll have you know I have... And I'll motion to, like, an empty slot in my gloves. I use the... Well, when they're available, I use these for various purposes of magic, okay? It's well, not magic necessarily. It's kind of... It's not relevant right now. We need to do the cellar thing.
Well, just earlier you said you needed a bump, and
I nudged
Well,
Crab.
more like an edge remover than a bump. I don't
yeah,
know.
that's what we call it too.
Yes.
That's not the same. We're distracting again. Damn it! We need to do this. We gotta help this, the people.
While this is all going on, I nudge Crab, and I'm like, some pretty nice equipment he's got there, huh? I give him a wink.
Oh, so he's not making up the things about
Drugs.
drugs.
It's not really drugs. It's so he can heal himself.
Well, if you wanted to make a theoretical argument of what is a drug and what isn't,
You
technically
know what?
a drug is...
We're not here to debate.
You're right.
the
Can we...
rats.
Rats.
Aelin, Kugal, please join me in the cellar.
Yeah, we'll
can
tag in
come
the back and help.
if you want. Suppose. And he starts to go down
Here.
the stairs. And we're all following.
Mm.
So you descend this narrow stone staircase, and you find yourselves in the food cellar of the empty net. The air down here is cool and damp, and there's kind of a faint smell of salt and mildew kind of lingering in the air. The room itself is dimly lit, with a few flickering torches already on the wall. And they're casting these sort of kind of deep shadows throughout the room, especially in the corners. The room itself is filled with shelves and racks of food supplies. There's barrels stacked high with ale, sacks of flour and grains, various, boxes of preserved vegetables and meats and things like that. Overall, the shelves are pretty neatly organized. But there are signs of very obvious recent disruption with some of the crates and barrels being knocked over and their contents spilled on the floor. At the far end of the cellar, there is another large wooden door that's like reinforced with iron bands and a big old sturdy lock on it. And Kreb finds himself down at the bottom of the staircase, and you see him grab one of the torches off the wall and take it, and he starts walking around the room, looking around. What are you all doing?
Would we know where that door goes?
Yes. You know that door leads to the wine cellar, and it's also where the tavern keeps kind of its more prized collection of wines and spirits.
Things needed security.
Mm-hmm.
Besides her torch and the torches around, is the lighting here, like, it's lit, but it's fairly dim, right?
Yeah.
Is there any, like, foodstuffs just sprawled out on the floor, like an apple or something, or a pear, or anything like that?
Are you looking, like, specifically for... Because
Nah,
yeah, I mean, there's definitely things that have been knocked over and spilled out on the floor.
Is anything I can pick up and just hold in my hand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's... you see, a few apples on the ground. There is a couple of potatoes that have rolled across the floor as well.
That's perfect. I'm going to pick up a potato and kind of look at it for a moment and take my hammer out and just tap it twice. And it's going to start emitting a 5-foot radius of light. I'm going to hold the potato up my side.
Maybe I'm on drugs.
And I'll sheath my hammer.
Kreb turns around and looks. Did you get that here?
Well, I mean, I'll give it back to you when I'm done. It's your potato, but...
Keep it.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, I'm going to use it for now.
Impressive.
It looks
Is that one of
serious around
ours?
the room.
Is that one of ours?
Oh, it's just, it's like how this isn't really lit. I did the same thing.
So he is a magic user as well.
Well, no, this isn't necessarily magic. It's more like an infusion. Like a little...
That's a naturally growing potato.
I've never seen a natural potato glow.
Well, you see, potatoes actually can emit some type of electricity if given the right circumstances. You just have to, if you have the right tools and whatnot, and I'll pat my hammer again, you can do a little something with anything.
We're going to be good friends with this guy.
What's your name again?
Colt? Colt Truthen? I thought we talked before.
He's the hero of Saltmarsh.
We did a little... it's not important. This is important. What's going on here?
Okay. When you infuse the potato with radiant light, you definitely see more of the extent of the damage that was done down here. Kugal and Aelin, it looks like the cellar is stocked a bit more than it normally would be, which makes sense for the festivities going on upstairs. Colt, Kugal, Aelin, make a perception check for me.
I got 18.
20. Okay.
Nat
20?
Yes.
Ooh,
Hey!
18.
18? Okay.
we found it. What did we find?
You've done it.
I have like a 0 on it, so.
Relatively close in time to one another, you notice there is a stack of crates that has been knocked over in one of the corners. But they look like they were maybe stacked on top of a slightly larger crate. This crate, the larger crate, has almost looks like a gnawed hole in the kind of bottom left corner of it. That's about that big.
We all see that?
The three of you. And then, you're kind of there.
Just happy to be here.
You're just happy to be here.
Hey, what was Redmare just kind of just looking around like this?
I imagine that's kind of the
Man, if you want to
the
know my
gist
thoughts,
that I
I'm
got.
like, what am I doing here with these people I don't know?
Yeah.
Well, he's my buddy.
Yeah.
So.
What are you doing?
Just having a good time.
Looking around, wondering why you're here with these people.
What
You
do
don't
you-
know.
Was the larger one also
What are
knocked
these
over?
drugs are gonna
The
do
one
to
that
me?
had the hole?
The large crate itself is probably about a 4 foot by 4 foot
So that was the bottom.
crate. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a pretty big.
Does it look like it was chewed out from or into?
Make an investigation check.
You see that over there?
I look at the door.
15.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with the door, right? The door just looks like a door. The one to the wine cellar. I don't know where. It
I mean,
goes.
from where you're standing, like you walked over to.
Yeah,
it?
when I like kind of look at it, like, I think the rats came from here.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Why don't you give me a perception check? With your investigation check, yes, you definitely determine that this thing looks pretty chewed up. There's like what looks like sawdust, pretty much, like kind of piled up just outside the hole. So it definitely looks like it was kind of something came out of it.
Got
It looks like with your roll, it looks like the hole was almost kind of like pushed out and broken out, starting from like a smaller hole. So it's like something chewed through or clawed through a little bit and was able to get through, and then just like kind of the whole force of everything kind of forced it out and open. Nat one.
It's really tough, guys.
It's a door.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
I wonder how many bananas tall this is.
it's a pretty doorish door.
I don't think they came through this way.
You hear Kreb. Do you mind? So yes. So what do you do with that information?
I relay that to the others. So it looks like something dug its way out of this box. Do we see any markings on the box?
You do.
Someone shipped rats here.
There is a stamp on the box, on the crate. That is what looks. It's kind of like a fleur-de-lis, like the New Orleans
Go Saints.
flower.
Yeah.
And it is stamped on there with some kind of. It looks like an actual stamp of some kind. It's like ink on there. We're all taking.
Do we know what the
Oh,
symbol
it's
is?
All taking notes and
Probably came from the door, I bet, right, guys? Through the door. And then...
Nothing came through the door.
Miss Aylin, do you know what this symbol is? Do you know where this comes from?
Oh, I have no idea. Crab, do you know who shipped you the rats?
That's
Who shipped the rats? That's good. Yeah, that's what happened.
They came through the door.
Your rats
that's
got loose.
that's the symbol of Mr. Primwater,
Wait. Oh, Gellin?
Gellin. I mean,
Really?
and then he kind of gestures around, and all of the other kind of crates, medium and large size crates, as you look through them, also have that same stamp on it.
Oh.
So Kreb actually goes over to one and like cracks it open, and like you see a couple of rats actually scurry out, run away. But looking in, it's still filled with mostly like good food.
So how did... Maybe this was bad luck. One was filled up with rats, and the babies in there or something. They grew up. I don't know. Sounds weird.
Did nobody inspect the boxes? Is that not a thing?
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Someone's fired.
Who should have been inspecting? Was it intentional?
Probably somebody that Gellin hired.
Or was it... Do you think that they were trying to ruin the reputation of your tavern? Or were they trying to ruin the reputation of Mr. Primwater?
As of right now, I don't know why anyone would do this.
Or, yeah.
I mean, we have a healthy competition with the other taverns, but never resorted to sabotage.
I'm gonna look for other boxes that are broken.
Maybe it was
Or
just a
rat
coincidence.
Yeah. He says, Aelin, you know where we keep the checklists. Would you mind going and grabbing it?
No problem.
You do know where they
I
are.
say I assume I know, and I head that way.
You know that they generally are kept, obviously not in the cellar, upstairs, just next to the door that leads outside from the kitchen itself.
I'd like to check the door in the meantime to see if it looks. Is it still locked?
The other door
Yes,
in the
the
cellar.
white cellar.
Yeah, so there is a like a padlock on it, and if you go up and actually check the padlock itself, it is still secure. I tell you now, nothing's getting in and out of there.
Yes, sir.
Aelin, when you get upstairs, you see there are still, a few people kind of making, trying to clean up what they can just initially. But you do go up and find kind of the invoice, more or less, or where they keep all the invoices, almost on like a clipboard type deal. Are you looking through it there? Or are you going to bring it down?
I'm going to look through it as I'm bringing it down because I'm being nosy.
Okay.
He pays way too much for sight keys.
Make a dexterity check for me.
Do I get the plussy?
Yeah.
That's a 19.
Okay. Yeah, so you managed to text and drive your way back down into the cellar without issue.
It's dangerous.
And you know what? Let's also give me one more investigation check. And you can do this one with advantage.
Investigation. Plus 0. 18.
Okay. After flipping through for a little bit and comparing what's on the sheet to what's in that room, the numbers definitely don't match. There seems to be 2 extra crates in here than what is on that sheet of paper.
Hey, Crab.
Yes.
We seem to have a problem with the books.
We never have a problem with the books.
I'm not sure who was on receiving, but we have 2 more than what we should. And I hand it to him and point out.
He grabs it from you, starts flipping through it himself and looking around. And then he goes up to the 2 crates that have been kind of burrowed out of. Where are the 2 of you standing currently?
I was kind of standing just near Kreb, just watching Aelin hand a book to him, and I'm kind of looking curiously, but I've decided to keep my mouth shut for now and just listen.
I was looking for any other gnawed out boxes.
Okay. You see Kreb go over to the gnawed out boxes, and you see him almost squint a little bit and take his torch and hold it a little closer. Oh,
What do you
no.
see?
That's not right.
What is it?
What's your name?
Redimir.
He's a fisherman.
Okay. Come here. Look at this. Tell me what you see. Are you from here?
I'm not from here.
Are you familiar with Mr. Primwater's insignia?
Maybe? Out of character.
You would not be.
No, not really, no. Sorry. He may.
Is anyone here
The hero of Saltmarsh would.
familiar with
Are we making that a thing? I want to make that a thing.
Yes.
Alien? Please.
Aelin. I think you called me Aylar.
Eileen.
I called you Aelin.
Okay. I must have heard
I'm
wrong.
glad you're back.
No problem. I walk
Look
over.
here. You see the bottom. Actually, I have a picture of. Well,
It's very dark in here.
it is. It's very.
It's not too
Where
dark.
is it? Hold on, I got you. I forgot.
Hold my potato closer to it.
This was the one time I was actually hoping that it wouldn't give me the PNG like transparent one because it's a black. Yeah, there it is. Looks like that.
Like kunai with 2 dolphins on each side.
I don't know what that is, but
The
I mean,
green
I know
animals.
what dolphins are. Regardless,
The-
he points down to kind of to the bottom of it, and then says, "You see, this doesn't match his actual insignia," and he gestures over to and holds his torch over another crate that has just food and stuff like that in it. And it's still a fleur-de-lis, and it's close. It's damn close. But the bottom of the middle piece on Gellen's actually flares out just a couple inches more.
More than that, or
More than that.
Just a little bit on the bottom.
Someone seems to have snuck these in here. So
well, that's not good. People
Do we
die
wanna-
for whatever this is.
Should we open these up?
you see Kreb kind of sport this familiar face that you've seen before. I don't think you've seen this face. Good things don't happen normally when that face is made.
Just kind of under my breath, but maybe loud enough everyone can hear. Hate to be the person who did the thought receiving.
I don't understand. Who would want to do this? Did any of you notice anything out of the ordinary? Anything at all?
I mean, the whole night was kind of out of the ordinary, but maybe that's a good way to hide what was going on.
We did take that one dude's money, but I bought his cards from him.
Yeah, I was really lucky playing the games, and they didn't want to play with me anymore. I think that I may have embarrassed the man because I beat him in an arm wrestling contest.
We need to... He looks at the invoice again. These were brought in here 3 days ago. So, presumably, I would assume these rats were starved. And they eventually clawed their way out.
Out of character question. Thinking back on my day and walking through town and seeing someone thrown out of the wicker goat, does that happen ever or no? Would that be
That's not the first time you've seen somebody thrown out like an old Western,
Right.
through the tavern doors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there wasn't there some dwarf got thrown out of this place, was it?
No, it's that other
was
place.
Chris.
Well, that happens every day.
Oh, he was real pissed about something. I don't know. That's relevant, I guess.
Normal, it seems.
Well, I guess I'll have to figure out who was here. We'll have to track it down. Regardless, if you would, please keep your eyes open, ears open.
Yes, sir.
Got you.
And he kind of
Yes.
gestures you away.
All right. Well, thank goodness there wasn't any more of that rat stuff going on here. I suppose.
No,
Huh?
leave the potato.
Oh, Yeah, no problem. And I just lean down and just kind of toss it like back among the veggies, and then the light vanishes from it.
So what are we all doing at this point? Heading back up?
Yeah, we just casually turn around, going up some steps.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. You,
But what now as we're leaving?
Oh, I'll tell you what now, Redman. You just hold on. Let's get out of this place first.
so you make your way back out into the main tavern area, and you can see that there are multiple people still sitting around. Some people have taken to putting tables and chairs back in their upright position. At this point, you see a couple of the chairs have been kind of repaired as best they could, like basically duct tape, and some of the tables are sitting at an angle now. Chairs missing a leg that's been like replaced with just a piece of broken wood or something like that. A few people are still sort of tending to their wounds. You don't see Gellin anywhere, but you do see a couple of familiar faces. Most notably to you, Colt, is Captain Eleander. You see him in his full Captain of the Guard regalia, armor, everything but the helmet. And he's kind of walking from person to person, checking on them. Also doing like what looks like interviews, asking people what they saw. And you also see Anders Solmar, who is, one of the town council members.
What was his name?
Anders.
Anders. Okay. That's right.
What's the captain's name?
Eleander.
Eleander, yeah. Anders is actually down on one knee in front of a patron of the tavern and is kind of wrapping bandages around their leg and seems to be kind of comforting them as much as he can. Anders is
Council?
is one of the council members. Actually, I've got pictures here for you. So Captain Eleander is kind of a late middle-aged man. Most of you know that he kind of cut his teeth in battle, fighting in the army, which eventually led to him losing his leg, which you see him actually walking on a peg leg, and it's a very finely crafted one at that. But he has been the captain of the guard here in town as long as any of you are aware. Anders is a much younger individual. There we go. Has kind of these very friendly features, kind of a toothy smile, very sharp, angular jawline. And from what most of you know, more so you, Colt, he's kind of the calmer head in the room most of the time when things get heated up in kind of town debates. Red, you also are familiar with the name, and you think you kind of recognize him. Maybe you've seen his face around, as he owns the biggest share of the fishing industry in town and offers the best rates for fish being sold. So those are the two most notable people you see in the tavern itself at the moment.
What are they doing right now?
Anders is bandaging up a tavern patron. It looks like their leg got chewed up and scratched up. So he seems to be trying to comfort them and bandage them up. Eleander is walking around, looks like interviewing people.
I'm gonna just look at both of them, just tending to the room, and then kind of turn towards Aelin and Kugal for a moment. And then, what are y'all two doing right now? Because I'm probably about to walk over to one of them and talk, unless y'all are doing something.
Just came up the stairs.
All right, I'm immediately gonna just walk up to Anders then, as he's banding someone up, and I'm gonna say, "Man, it was rough in here, so it's good to see more helping our own." And I'll just kind of crouch down.
He kind of turns and looks up at you. He does a double take for a second, but then you see that he's trying to figure out if he knows you. But then quickly sort of composes himself and finishes tying off a bandage and says, "Oh, hi. Yes. What?"
Oh, we don't know each other, but I'm familiar with your position, Mr. Anders. I was just commenting how you helping out here. It's nice.
Oh, I mean, it's the least I can do. This was supposed to be a day of celebration. It's the biggest catch we've had of the season so far. And for someone to come in and... I mean, I assume this was out of malice, unless the empty net just keeps crazed rats in the cellar.
And I can assure you it was out of malice, sir. Absolutely. Sabotage, even, you may say.
And what brings you all here?
I'll turn and look at my friends. Where are y'all at? Are y'all with me, or are you just kind of hanging out?
I'm with you.
I'm pointing at you.
Oh. Oh, we're here for... I invited him, but we were here because we were invited by Gellin to celebrate the hall and whatnot. So we were hanging out, and we were part of the...
You invited him?
Oh, yeah, he's my +1. That's Redimir. He's a cool guy. Good listener.
He's the hero of Saltmarsh.
I am not Redimir. You gotta quit calling me that. That's weird.
I was going to say, only guests of honor get to bring +1s for events like this.
Oh.
Were you being honored?
The hero of Saltmarsh.
I get a little...
Anders, you don't know?
Everybody gonna make it so
The guy
weird.
that saved the boat, that's him.
He saved the boat.
You're Coulter.
I'm Coulter Truth. It is nice to meet you. Sir.
Oh. The town of Saltmarsh is in your debt.
Just doing what any other good person would do.
So
You guys,
you hear a couple other patrons kind of clap in the background.
Yeah, thank you.
Like they were. It's clear they didn't know what they were clapping for. So, did you find a place to hide when everything?
No, there was no hiding, sir. It was do or die. We fought.
And he looks around
Yes,
at
sir.
like all the dead rats, and you see
Someone
his
had
gaze.
to kill all of these dead rats.
They
They were alive once.
You see his gaze pause for a moment on the like shish kebabbed rats that got impaled by Kugal during the fight when you threw or somebody threw
It wasn't me.
one of you threw. Check the tape. There was a rat skewer.
No, I think that you threw a box at them, right?
You picked up a.
Oh, and you smashed
I just
some.
squished them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were flattened.
Somebody threw something.
One of
and
us
shish
skewered some
kebabbed
rats.
High
some
school or
rats,
something.
okay.
Isn't that what it was?
Jeez.
I'll take the credit.
And then looks back to you and says, "Oh, well, from what I've heard, the guards didn't get here until almost the end. So this was all your doing."
I guess. I'm sure other people were fighting too. It was pretty rowdy.
Does Gellin know?
Was Gellin here when that went down? I think he was. I think he was one of the ones who retreated, maybe? I don't recall. It got real hectic.
Well, be careful. He might throw you another party.
You know what?
Oh,
I'm gonna
no,
think
it
twice
doesn't
before
matter.
attending
I
next
just have
time, or at
Mr.
least come in a little bit more armor.
So while this is going on, I'm gonna kind of turn my back to him and kind of like get down into your ear, Aelin, and say like, how much information do we want to like let this guy hear? Like we know the box didn't come from Prime Water. We think.
I think the cult is the wild card, and he just doesn't know when to stop.
We'll play it as it comes, I guess.
So you are,
The hero of Saltmarsh led us to victory.
and so this is your. You're an adventuring group.
I just know him from work.
I just work here.
You know,
Not really.
funny thing, I've actually, I suppose we were investigating that, weren't we? We all just, yeah,
I
y'all,
was just very curious, to be honest. I have a natural curiosity for the goings on.
I think we're investigating what happened here. We already found out something good, so I was gonna talk to y'all about maybe following up on that at some point. You don't got to, but that's what we were about to go over that. But I saw you helping here, and I'm kind of.
But we don't want to jump the gun and divulge too much information so as there's not false rumors going around the town.
Yes, we don't want to.
No, not at all.
Would we know of
Spread
him as
any
being a
rumors.
trustworthy guy? Like, is this kind of a stand-up dude that we would trust with anything?
Do you
Make
not trust that guy?
Look at that face.
Look at that face.
make an insight
I
check.
think he works at the Ford dealership.
Maybe my cheeks are a little rosy right now. I'm a little nervous. Mr.
I got a
Anders.
17 out of. I got a 17 out of that. Yeah.
You get a pretty calm feeling from him, and again, although you haven't been here for too long, the city is, although it's a decent size, it's not so big that word doesn't kind of get around, especially when it comes to the political back and forth between.
He doesn't have a gossipy reputation. or
Right.
something.
And you, again, or you think kind of that he is mostly the voice of reason, and doesn't regularly side with one faction or another. I got really distracted by that. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's Andy Sandberg. How can you not? Be?
Right.
Are you making like a trying to read this guy expression? Like when I look over and you're like, or are you just kind of like nonchalantly standing there?
Just kind of standing there right now.
Okay.
Just trying to read him.
You have dreamy eyes.
I wouldn't say anything.
You were saying?
Yes.
Oh, what I was saying. That's right. Yeah, we were just trying to figure out what happened down there. So we think someone might be.
We're not sure.
That's true. We're not sure. There might be some fishy stuff going on. No
We
pun
don't know
intended.
for sure.
Anything important to know?
Well, why would someone hate? Why would someone want to do something to Kreb? Well, I could assume why. Is he? What kind of guy? You know him better. What kind of guy is he?
He's a great guy. I don't know why
You
anyone...
okay?
I'm just happy to be here. Sometimes they forget I'm here and they just do their own things.
I would never.
We're
forget
learning
that
our
from him.
dynamics. We're brand new here.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Yes.
He's very quiet.
I'm sorry, I was distracted. You were saying anything interesting that you found?
Oh, yeah, we were talking about the
We're not sure yet.
um.
I don't know. I just don't know why anyone would want to ruin such a great event. Why would someone have that hate in their heart? Who would do such a thing?
Well, unfortunately, there are
Do
plenty.
you know? There are.
I mean, the world is full of
Oh, I thought you
nefarious
meant
people.
like. Oh, these are obviously the people who probably did it. And I was gonna say, oh,
No,
wow,
no.
what a. How did
never-
you know?
No suspects as of yet.
Oh,
It's never that easy in the books.
No, we were probably gonna go
That's right.
maybe ask around again. If you want to, I don't force anybody to do nothing they don't want to do. But I was gonna inquire a little bit because
I like how he motions to you two.
Radimir, you were coming no matter what. I don't have to ask you. I know you're in it.
that
in a
was
minute.
that was the joke.
Exactly. See, he already knows.
So I'm kind of pointing towards would I know who packs crates locally? Where like what the next step of looking.
There
would be.
are so many ships coming in and out, and so many there are a lot of crews that load and unload their own stuff. Normally, there are people that work on the docks regularly that help load and unload and help check off against manifests, trying to prevent illicit goods from coming in. Of course, you're also familiar that it doesn't take much for people to look the other way if you know the right people and who to ask. But there isn't like one specific like group that does it or company that does it. I mean, I suppose, if we think about, if we follow the normal chain of investigation, we would think, okay, who owns the Empty Net? Well, Mr. Krebs, Schenker, owns this place. Is there anybody he's enemies with? Is there anyone who has a problem with him? That I don't know. Additionally, most of the town council was here. Is this perhaps a strike at one of us? Of course, no one was gravely injured, and I don't believe that there was anyone who really even came close to being mortally wounded.
Well, I did help someone.
I thought I saw someone
pretty
getting eaten
sick.
alive.
There was a lady, and she was literally covered in rats. Fear not, though, I did kill the rats, and then I cured her as well.
So, you were all...
We're just good pedestrians, we're just trying to help people. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I would
Okay,
say
like that
most
makes
of the people I know can't just heal people, and most of the people I know wouldn't dive headlong into a swarm of rats.
They were very gross. I assure you, you'd probably want them dead too.
Well, I certainly wouldn't want them crawling on me. But I suppose if it wasn't somebody with something to do against Krebs, if it wasn't somebody with a vendetta against the council, could it be someone with a vendetta against Gellin?
Do we know
He
how-
owns multiple businesses.
Do we know how Krebs' relationship with say the other taverns like Wicker Goat or Snapping Line, have they had any feuds otherwise?
Nothing that's boiled over into violence. Healthy competition, trash talking, especially if there is copious amounts of ale involved. So normally the trash talking gets a little worse in the evenings.
Just
and
yelling across the
occasional-
street. Say, y'all suck.
Right, and the occasional fist fight, right? But nothing where it's been an issue. You know that each of the taverns kind of caters to a different crowd. The Empty Net mostly to kind of less than great people. There's mercenaries, there's pirates that come in there. Of course, they don't announce they're pirates, but
We seedy.
yeah, just not great.
Maybe we
They're
should-
not sending their best people to the Empty Net. The Snapping Line mostly to sailors and shipwrights and things like that. And then there is the Wicker Goat, which caters more to town guard and the dwarven mining company.
Maybe we should take a no. Maybe we should take a pulse of the town, see what's going on.
Perhaps. I would not normally even ask anyone to participate in something like this. Not the average citizen, but there's something about you.
Again, I just, if you got the capability and the willingness to help out people who need help, especially if you love where you're at, you should do it.
It's nice to hear positive outlook, especially situations like these. This party was held in your honor.
Not necessarily. No, I just happened to. They wanted me to give a little speech, but it wasn't for me. It was for the hall.
Well, it was for everyone, right?
Exactly. So the fishing boat, it made it back in one piece. They had the biggest haul they've gotten this season, and me and Yon and myself, saw their boat was in trouble, went out, did a little patchwork, and got them back in. And Gellum wanted to throw an event for that. The boat made it back, and it didn't sink, and it got a ton of fish. So it was for the returning of that.
Is there anyone with a vendetta against you?
Ooh.
I don't think so. I don't really make many enemies.
The hero of Saltmarsh? Never.
Right.
They're
Who hates heroes?
I ain't got any comment about them right now. I don't know, but I'm not really a make enemies kind of guy, unless if someone's actively trying to do real bad stuff. I might be like, hey man, don't do that, and they progress. I'll be like, hey man, don't do that, something like that. But
I'll lean over to them too. Next time we go somewhere, I'm gonna do this behind them, and I'll do like little fireworks that way.
But no enemies I can think of. Unless someone didn't want that boat to come back, that'd be weird.
When you referred to them, who did you mean?
With them, did I say them? When did I say them?
Just now.
Well, in that sentence I did, but before that.
Yes, before that as well. You said you
Oh,
don't
them,
want
the peanut gallery. They always, hero, Saltmarsh hero.
It's just kind of funny because I think he gets really uncomfortable with the attention, which just makes it even funnier the more that we just encourage it. You should probably start doing it too. I recommend it. It's really funny.
I wonder if we could get T-shirts.
Nah, I know they're just being mean.
Or maybe we can make like a day of an official day.
Ooh,
like
the day of cult.
the day of cult. Coulter Day.
Well, you may get like cult people with like a U here.
It's going to be a cult.
We
I'll buy
That's
a
us.
shirt right now.
Yeah, that's us.
I really hate this.
We're the cult of cult.
as much as I do appreciate
Hereby, Saturday, the 20th of Tarsa.
Merry
We
Cultmas.
declare this day.
as much as I do appreciate your heroic deeds, it typically will take just maybe a little more than that to have a day named after someone.
Yeah, you have to do a lot more. Nowhere even close. So let's just don't even worry about it. It's nothing. Just doesn't even matter. Anyhow, there's.
We'll start writing down your achievements.
Or we can start a rumor that it's become a day, and then eventually everyone will hear the rumor.
I'm sure we could get somebody to like print signs.
And then I can say, hey, did you
Oh,
see
you're
the
not.
proclamation?
They're
Today
just
is
weird,
Cult
right? They're
Day?"
not.
Yeah.
Okay,
it'd be,
good.
Ooh, look at this! It's cult day, like really loud. And for the sign we just put up on the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd celebrate it, but
We should
Is it
continue
against?
talking to the councilman, Mr. Anders here. He's actually a really. I am glad I got to see you.
Yes, Mr. Anders, as you were saying, sir.
I wanted to ask you something.
Yes.
Are you on your like tippy toes?
No, I was doing this though. Like, yeah.
If we were to look in this further and we found out something or something important, would you be all right if we sought you out and maybe tell you what we found? I know you got a heavy hand here in Saltmarsh, and we could use your aid in the future.
Absolutely. I work closely with another, with all members of the council, but I've always been willing to help out Captain Eleander and tracking down ne'er-do-wells.
Ne'er-do-wells and good old Captain Eleander. Let's look over that, Captain.
do we get kind of a feel for how he regards, like, say, like me and Aelin being on kind of like an outside fringe, or
He seems to be really kind of locked in with whoever he's speaking to at the time. But he doesn't seem to be like avoiding you or anything like that. Yes, if you do find something, I would most certainly like to know. I was going to ask though, would you be willing to meet me at the council hall tomorrow morning? I may have need of your skills. All of you. The 4 of you.
Well, I mean, sure, I can go. But what about you guys, though?
I don't have work tomorrow, so I think I'm free.
Self-employed.
I'll be there.
Yeah, sure. We'll be there.
Great. 9 in the morning.
Man, you guys are cool. Yeah. 9 in the morning. We'll be there, Mr. Anders.
My office.
In your office at the council hall. Won't forget it.
Very good. Well, if there's anything else you find out, please, or any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
All right. And thank you again for your time, and hopefully we can cut off or stem any events like this that may happen in the future. Figure out what happened.
Indeed.
Did any of you want to talk to the captain for any reason whatsoever before we get out of here? I personally would prefer not to. I mean, he's
You have something against him.
it's more his children than anything, but
His children.
His children.
What's wrong with them?
oh,
Are they here?
Are they
Are their kids like?
child like
What's wrong with
kids?
not about as old as me, but they're
How
real
old are you?
dickheads.
Oh.
Like 27, 28 ish.
them? What's wrong with the?
But the baby.
Why?
What's wrong with what?
Never mind.
Do I know who Eliander's kids are?
And then they broke up, and that's why
No.
they don't like him.
That
No.
seems logical.
Yeah.
So we're good then. The captain, let him captain on, and we'll captain out.
It seems weird, but sure.
All right, neat, Mr. Anders. Good luck. I'll start walking out.
The hero
Oh.
of Saltmarsh.
I'll catch up with you. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna double back and try and find Crab.
Make a perception check for me.
Oh, okay. 18.
Okay. As you're leaving the tavern, you kind of look over to the side, and you, for a moment, lock eyes with Captain Eliander. And he just kind of gives you a nod.
All right, I'll give him a and keep going.
Do we see you do this or no?
Yeah, I'm not hiding. I'm like, and then I'll just go.
Yeah, I mean, if he was leading the way out, you would see him kind of wave at somebody. Aelin, are you like trying to sneak away, or?
No, I told him I'd catch up. Give me
Okay,
just a minute. I have to use the ladies.
Okay.
We'll just be
I want to
outside.
find Crab.
Okay. You see that at this point he is back out at the bar, and he's still looking through papers and invoices and stuff like that.
Is anyone else around?
I mean, there's a few people around. Yeah.
Hey, Crab. You got a minute?
No, but what?
And kind of like everyone around me.
I'll just come back and kind of wait at the door.
And speak low so no one can hear me. This wasn't a special delivery, was it? You don't think we were sabotaged? Maybe somewhere externally?
Can we talk about this later? You see, he kind of like stares a hole through you a little bit.
Fine, Crab. I'm just trying to help you. I
Be
stare
that
back at
way.
him.
Okay, and you jaunt out and catch up with Kugal.
Yeah.
And then, what are we all doing?
I'm outside the tavern, kind of just leaning on one of the poles, holding it up down at the base, just waiting. Kind of tap my foot, looking around. Like I got some burning questions. I'm just doing this.
So what's up with you and the captain?
Oh, and you ready for his outside? Were you right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've all now come back out and
Oh, everybody's
Yeah.
with us.
gathered up with you again.
Yeah, I've been like your shadow. I'm the guy at the party that doesn't know anyone except you.
Okay, couple things, real quick. Okay, you talked in my head, didn't you?
Yes.
Because I heard that we should leave, and then you were like, I mean that was you.
Yeah, I
There
said
was more
this
here.
out loud, remember? So it was like, never mind.
Yeah, that's wild. I knew there was something about you. There's probably more than that. What? Sorry,
Well, you're the one with the drugs. So.
It's not a drug, Radimir. It's magic and science combined. It's mystical and awesome. I do a lot more than that too.
How many people are outside? Is it just us, like on the thing?
No, there's a decent amount of people out here. Quite a few bystanders that are just kind of like looking around.
I'd send you a message and say some things I just want to keep it on the down low.
Oh, I see. Well, how can I?
You say that back to me.
Do I say? Does it happen in my head? Do I? Oh shit! This is crazy. Okay, this is all in my head. Oh
And then
shit!
That's
This is
where you cut off. Yes, for a little bit. Yes.
And I'm
I say
watching
out
them
loud.
just kind of make eyes at each other, going like, "What?"
oh, can they know?
So what's up with you and the guard, Captain?
My second question first. Before that, I got a hunch that you didn't want me to tell Anders what we thought or what we found.
Are you back out here with us?
Was I following that right, or was I wrong there?
Well, I just don't quite know
You mean
what
McDreamy?
exactly is going on. So, just in respect for Kreb, I thought that maybe until we know for sure, maybe we don't share
I see.
everything.
I
We
got
don't
you.
know who
Good
to trust
point.
yet.
Yeah.
Right. What are those hints?
That makes sense, but
Exactly.
Anders is a good guy. I mean, he's a little brash, but I know him as the kind of guy who goes around town trying to help people just because it's what you do. He also really hates the sea princes, which is big bonus points in my book.
Mm.
So I don't know him, so maybe he's got some
No, there's
bad, but I
also-
think we can count on him.
There's also good people that work the docks that give you money to help you out of your problems. They don't turn out to be so nice when you don't pay them.
Well, we know of Anders having his fingers in anything other than a council member. Like sometimes, like your board of, your chamber of commerce, they own another business or they've got their fingers in something else.
Yes. You don't know specifics, but you know that he has recently made kind of big moves into trade that's kind of made him a bit of a local celebrity. His biggest endeavor is fishing, and he he buys fish and sells fish at generally a better rate than anybody else, just because he's able to keep so much of his business inside. I guess he's not having to like contract out, because
Local business.
he owns boats, he owns this. You know that you would know, and Aelin, you would know that his mother, Petra, passed away recently, and she was a long-standing town council member who was very well respected as well. And so their family has had money for generations. But as far as all of you know, there's been not any issues with him with regard to things under the counter, or everything seems above board.
Wonder what the thing is tomorrow.
Oh, with the meeting in the morning? I don't know. If I had to guess, he's gonna... I mean, if he's trying to do helpful things like what we saw in there, he's banding someone up. He's probably gonna ask us to look into this further, which I kind of was leaning towards doing anyhow. That's what I wanted to talk to y'all about. I mean, I fix boats and whatnot, but
We should be on our guard.
you think someone's after us? No one even... Don't you be dicks. No one even knows us, though.
I'm just saying we should be. We should just be prepared. I mean, he wants to see us in his. He knows the chamber and all that well. We've never. I assume we've never been. We should just be watchful. That's all I'm saying.
You worry too much, Radimir.
Cole, the town does know it. Like, we've lived here for how long?
I mean,
And
I'm
you
not
just-
from.
You just saved the
Yeah, you are
biggest
the
fish
hero of
load of-
Saltmarsh. That is true.
I mean, I will say though, I don't think that many people know what we did tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I will agree with that.
Probably better if we don't. Except for you. You're the hero of Saltmarsh. So we can keep the rats on the down low.
Mm-hmm. Rats on a down low. All right. Well,
That's a great name. Rats on the down.
I was thinking like snakes on a plane, but rats. Okay, rats on the.
Rats
okay.
on a boat.
Yeah.
well, this seems like as good as any an opportunity to put my little contract jobs on hold and to look into this stuff. Technically, my dad always did lean this way. You know, if something came up like this, try to follow in his footsteps and do the right thing. So that's what I plan to do. That being said, it's probably gonna take a bit of time. Whatnot.
No, if we're getting a job, maybe it's tomorrow. We're like, hey, you helped out. Congratulations. Here's.
Oh, I'm not
here's
even
silver."
talking about that.
Oh, to investigate long term. I see. Okay.
Maybe something else is going on.
Exactly.
I don't want to be negative, but we could also be hired muscle too. Like, let the silly people out. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, if the opportunity came, I would offer for free if it did. Maybe I shouldn't be the one talking tomorrow then.
You're the hero of Saltmarsh.
You.
We should bring up, no matter what, maybe that there is an opportunity cost for us if we are asked to go do something like, who's gonna go and like cook in the kitchens on the boats, or who's gonna heal people for minor ailments? Like, I would have been gotten paid for that, and if I'm not getting that income, like these taxes aren't stopping, so am I just gonna lose my house? Am I not gonna be able to afford food? Like, it is a valid concern. Taxes are real. The man will come for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That is-
so
that is
I will
very
bring
true.
that up. Yeah, taxes are not my friend. So
You own a house in town?
it was my parents.
Yeah, same deal.
You have a house too?
I feel like the mystical god is annoyed by us.
Do you have a house, Kugal?
No, I rent a room.
Well, I suppose. I guess that it sounds like you. So y'all are coming tomorrow morning, but still, what I said. What do y'all think? You want to stick around for that?
About what?
Investigating this thing further.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
very curious.
I
Okay.
have 2 quests.
I'm curious.
Right, I know you like to fish. I don't want to pull you away from what you love to do something else, but I know I can count on you.
I mean,
Technically, I
this is
wasn't
much
even asking
more
you.
Intriguing than
Good. It is. Absolutely is. And I'm assuming Kugal, yeah? You in?
As long as I can get my shift covered. Or,
they probably got you covered. So we'll, or
have
Aileen,
to-
actually, that's your boss.
You have to put in your notice.
I'm not anyone's boss.
That's what y'all said earlier. Red, did she not say that she
I
was
said I
overlooking him
wasn't.
while guarding?
I know he pays her to live somewhere.
That's it.
Your landlord. You follow your landlord then. I got
As long as it keeps my rent down. Absolutely.
I'm leasing out a room. It's only responsible.
It's an income property.
Exactly. Taxes.
you. What time?
What time is it? Oh.
Ah, I don't know how late it is.
Hey.
Let me get my sundial.
Yeah. The sun at this point has mostly set. There's just a shade of like pink, purplish pink, still hanging in the sky. From where you're standing, you can actually look out across the water and see just the very, very edge of the sun, still over the horizon on the water. A nice breeze rolling through. It's a pretty nice evening, and about this time, you know, the crowd has kind of started to disperse, and the excitement has started to die down.
Well, I suppose that's it for now. Y'all want to just reconvene tomorrow morning? We'll meet up at the council halls and figure out what Mr. Anders wants us to do, talk about. Sound good?
That's good.
Sounds good.
Cool. It was nice seeing you again, Aylin. Kugal, it's very nice to meet you. I like you a lot. You're a strong heart. Red?
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going the same way if you're going to walk with me, right? Of course we're walking together. Oh, man, come on.
One auto following.
Yeah, both of us will start heading towards the dock.
Okay. And you're
Head
heading.
to the house.
Okay. And with that, we're going to take let's call it a 15-minute break. We'll be back.
Don't turn that dial.
right, we're back. Thank you all for hanging in there with us. Let me change this over. Okay, there we go. Now, welcome back. You all made it back to your places where you were going to be crashing for the night. Of course, Aelin, Kugal joining you back to the room he's renting out at your family home. Coulter, you headed back to your family home.
Yes.
Which is located kind of close to the docks. There's one thing I did want to... Well, no, never mind. So, Red, you and Colt would have been kind of walking together back to where you were going that evening. Of course, you ultimately ending up at the Snapping Line Tavern. Colt, make a perception check for me real quick, just before we...
5.
Okay, yeah, you don't notice anything. All right. The next morning...
Oh, long rest?
Yeah. Everybody gets a long rest. The, why is our music so low?
I'm refreshed. New science is born.
Here we go. The sun rises, a new day begins. You all wake up and go through your normal daily rituals. Is there anything anybody wants to do specifically before we have everybody kind of convene at the town hall?
No, probably eat some breakfast and then show up.
I mean, kind of like outside of
Oh.
what the normal would be.
I mean,
Yoga.
Doing some yoga?
Yoga. I need some yoga.
Make an athletics check for me.
Eight.
Okay, good to know.
I stretched a little too hard.
Hey, we'll see. You all make your way back into town. Well, I say you all, Kugal and Aelin. Anything the two of you wish to discuss on your way into town? Anything like that?
I don't think it was a special shipment, was it? Surely not.
Something he ordered and didn't know?
No,
Oh, remember?
like it was just a normal shipment, nothing like you and I would. Like, I know nothing of ours was in that shipment,
Surely not.
but I just wonder if there's anyone else involved, if
You
they
would've
had
known.
something. Yeah, I hope it was just a normal shipment. That's what I'm most concerned about.
Yeah, I agree.
As you are making your way toward the town council, or the council hall, you pass by the Wicker Goat. You pass by, a few other notable places, crossing the Sharkfin Bridge to the north before making a turn and heading down the road towards the town council, which actually is right next to the Snapping Line. So you don't have a very far walk. So the two of you see Redimir kind of standing outside of the town council hall by himself at the moment.
Hey, Redimir.
Yes. Hello, Aelin. Yes.
Hey, yeah. You haven't been here for long, have you?
Like at Saltmarsh or
am
just
I
this
late?
morning? No, I stayed here.
You don't have watches, but
Look at the sundial.
there is a clock tower, and it is at least when you passed by and looked at it just probably a few minutes ago, was about 5 till.
Yeah, I stayed here the night. I didn't have long to go.
Did you sleep well? Was it a good room?
Nah, it was not a great sleep. But it's okay.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all right. I'll probably move on to some other place. There's a couple other places to sleep at night. I'll try another bed somewhere else.
You know, if you'd like a couch at a discounted rate.
How much is the discounted rate?
You kind of were walking up now.
How much are you paying?
That's not what I asked.
Would I know what the average
You have no idea.
What's the weather like today?
Great question. It is overcast. It is fairly warm. Probably at this early point in the morning is low 80s. I feel like a weatherman. Low 80s with the chance of.
Is it humid?
It is quite humid.
Toasty.
So even though it's not oppressively hot, it just feels kind of sticky a little bit.
Okay.
Dewy in a sense, but you still have that bit of ocean breeze that's rolling in that helps offset a little bit of that that muckiness. So not great, not terrible, not sunny, but not storming.
So about 30 feet out, I'll see them all talking, and I will yell out, "Oh, hey, everybody, you made it!"
The hero of Saltmarsh approached.
I didn't
But
hear
I
that.
also have some things here too, so it's kind of a work,
Bit humid today, but high spirits, right?
Because I'm like, yes, hero of Saltmarsh, yes.
the
I
highest of spirits?
Don't have a permanent place, so I have some things here.
Wait, you've been staying at like an inn?
Just kind of bounce around. I think you would know this.
Oh, do I know this?
I don't know.
I never really
Have y'all
asked.
talked about it?
Yeah, have you ever told me?
I think you would. I don't know if you'd put together or not. I sleep around. It's kind of wherever I can.
Dude,
Oh,
now.
my.
So the guild house,
Oh.
the other taverns, the other place, stuff
Saucy boy.
like that. Temple of Volker sometimes if I'm really broke.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know if you would put that together or not. That I don't always go home the same way.
I'll say I never really put thought into it.
Yeah, that's
and,
fine.
and I'll say,
Yeah, transient.
hey, you know, Red, if you need a place to stay, you can always just crash at my place.
Well, usually a contract would come up by now when you're gone.
Well, I suppose. Y'all ready to do the thing? I suppose. Also, when I walk up, I'm just wearing my normal outfit. I don't have a backpack or nothing. Are y'all geared or anything? I have a crossbow on my hip and a hammer.
I just have normal clothes on. I do not look like that.
Just one.
Are you geared? You got a bow
But
on
I
your
don't have
back
a
and a
backpack.
shield?
I don't have my bow with me,
Mhm.
but I do have my shield as well as my maces on my hip because I don't trust anybody at this point. I mean, I'm still I'm just like, is this town infested with rats now? Because I just can't trust it. So I'm ready.
Google, what do you got for sport?
My kind of normal. I've got my staff just because I tend to walk with it anyway. But, yeah.
Okay.
I don't have my 50 feet of rope with me, nothing like that. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess let's we go in.
How much is that bad again?
Huh? What?
Bad.
Wait, what'd you say, Red?
You were trying to offer me a cheap place to stay?
Yeah, so I have a couch that you could potentially sleep on.
Yeah, for how much?
No, you know what? We can ask Kugel. There's a bunk bed in the room that he's staying in. So if he's open to sharing the room, I'll have to ask him on a side note, because it is his
No.
room.
I can't sleep with anyone else in the room. It doesn't work.
Yeah. I'm
I
just
understand
saying.
completely. There is a couch.
Red, you wound me. But if you gotta pay for it, I understand. That's noble and honorable. You should follow your code.
Who, me? My code was just waiting to leave here. Not like this place, but like Saltmarsh. Like
Oh, you're talking about a bunk on a.
next contract, my next work opportunity.
Oh, I got
Usually
you.
like 6 months and you're back, or, you dropped off somewhere else.
Well, I don't want it to be soon. Then I'd miss you.
Thanks.
Well, Let's
I start to mosey in. I'm like, I don't want to be late for my appointment.
You do the knee slap.
Like, okay, so that's
Time.
It's bad manners to show up late, so.
All right, so you walk in through the double doors of the council hall, and it's a noticeable change of tone when you walk in here from the bustling early morning streets of Saltmarsh into a more quiet, almost library-like environment. As you walk in, there is a set of doors on either side of a desk, almost like a reception type desk. Behind it sits probably an older woman, not completely gray hair, but mostly gray, wearing kind of some nicer garments with a almost like a sash, like a teal sash around her, over her shoulders, and seems to be very busy, looking down, maybe writing or reading something as you walk in. There are a couple other people in there that look like they're just kind of waiting. There's some seating in there, some benches. Almost feels like you're showing up for jury duty.
I was literally writing court waiting.
There's a few people in here. That's early in the morning. All right. I'll walk right up to the lady and just kind of stand there and go, and just kind of look, but I don't say anything.
Are we waiting for a minute? Or a few seconds? A few seconds.
The hero of Saltmarsh has arrived. And I say behind.
I just turn and
Excuse me, ma'am.
glare at Red.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Yes. What can I do for you?
We have an appointment to see Anders.
Hmm?
To see Anders, 9 o'clock.
I don't see anything here. You sure?
I'm positive.
But we didn't necessarily
Are you mocking me?
schedule. No, ma'am. She just has an accent. She's not mocking you at all. We didn't schedule an appointment necessarily.
Gotta have an appointment.
He asked us to come here.
That council chambers at 9
Do you
a.m.
know how many times a day I hear that?
Well, all it takes is one time to be correct, and then...
And it only takes one time for a council member to get stabbed in the face.
Ma'am, we apologize. We mean no rudeness whatsoever. We're just letting you know
I
that
said,
you.
Clearly, I have no blades upon me. There's clearly 2 daggers.
We were just stopping by because he wanted us to. We can if
Can you do
we're
that
not in the
before
books. I mean, we
Anders?
can go. It's not a
Anders will hear,
problem.
the
We're just
receptionist will.
he
What are
wanted
you
us to
talking
come
about?
What's
by.
your
I
name?
heard you yesterday. when
I'm
you
Colt
said-
Truthen. This is
Did you do that?
Colt
for him?
Truthen.
Aylin.
Aylin.
That's
Aylin.
Red. That's Redamir.
The fisherman.
Mm-hmm.
The fisherman. That's right. He's really good at it.
As are most people in Saltmarsh.
That they are. We have good people that they're really good at. That's right. And it's a Kugel. But good.
And I
good friend.
smile really big with the tusks kind of sticking out.
I don't see an appointment in here for you.
I understand, and I guess
Do we?
I guess that's him. I suppose.
Ma'am, if you would kindly speak with Mr. Anders. He invited us here rather late last night.
Make a perception check. Or, I'm sorry, a persuasion check.
Yeah, he was helping with those rats after the rat problem.
20 again.
Oh!
Killing it.
And how do you, what are you saying to her to persuade her?
Ma'am, we were invited here last night, and he was very adamant that we should come here this morning to deal with the situation that happened last night.
Oh, that terrible business down at the tavern.
Yes, ma'am.
The rats.
All right, let me see what I can do for you. Bray! and it just like echoes through the hall. You see everybody who's sitting at the benches just sort of like startled and looks up, and you see this like young kind of disheveled woman sort of come through one of the side doors. Yes. Can you go ask Anders, did he ask these fine people to come meet with him this morning? He said they had an appointment at they did. What time?
What was it?
9.
9.
Not 9, ma'am.
At 9. Okay. It'll be just a moment.
Well, all right then. I guess let's take a seat somewhere. Is there like 4 chairs nearby? We can just.
So they're all benches in
benches.
here, and the number of people in here is like there's one open bench that would fit like 2 people, and then every other bench is either full or has like 1 person sitting on it.
Oh, weird.
It's like the DMV.
We'll just stand. I'll stand.
You want to...
I'll stand.
I'm gonna lean into Kugel and say under my breath to him, "Hey, Kugel, that's amazing. As you open your mouth, she just what like that. You gotta talk to people for us, man.
I'll try.
That's good stuff. Everybody probably knows that.
Usually I'm so intimidating, but sometimes it just comes out right.
She didn't like me.
She did not take kindly when you put that voice on. That is for sure.
It's the sass. You know, we talked about that.
Yes. We all have a way with our words.
There's a
don't
time and a place.
I'll have to ask
I
him
try
why
to
he didn't
keep-
put us on the books.
Some stuff I like to keep close to the chest.
After a few moments, that same kind of disheveled, she just looks stressed out, honestly. She comes to the doors, and you see everybody who's in the waiting room just look up like, and she looks directly at you, Kugal, and says, yes, Mr. Saltmarsh, we'll see you now.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, please, this way.
Who will we see? Let's say to like...
Is that Anders?
someone.
Sanders. This is his last name. Y'all know that? Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
from here.
Well, maybe not red, but I know you.
Hey, Councilman Anders Solmar.
You making your way through the door? Is this conversation happening still at the benches?
Bruh.
Yeah, I follow Kugel where he goes.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
We'll go with it.
You make a perception check for me.
Just me?
Yeah.
I got a 18.
Okay. As you're standing up and kind of following everybody else through the double doors, you hear the person that was sitting next to you just kind of under their breath say to the person sitting next to them on the bench, "We were here way before they were, Mark."
Oh, I'm gonna feel a little bad internally and just kind of they were. It's weird. It's not gonna make eye contact with anybody. Yeah. Just hastily walk. Try to make myself smaller.
forget the fast pass. You're just gonna deal with it.
That's true.
You go through the double doors, and there's a hallway that goes quite a ways down. There's several rooms with closed doors in this hallway. And from looking outside of the town council, you know it's kind of a larger, almost square, perfectly square building with like a courtyard in the middle that's sort of open. And then the larger assembly hall is kind of attached to the back on the outside of this ring of hallways, essentially. So you go most of the way back through this hallway, and the woman stops at a door, knocks on it twice, and waits a moment, and then opens the door and just gestures for you to go in.
In we go.
I'm going.
Okay. When you enter, you see Anders, sitting back behind a pretty nice desk. There's papers kind of all over the place. Seems maybe a little disorganized for a council member. But you also know he is the youngest council member, actually the youngest ever elected to the council. But he looks up at you and greets you warmly. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for meeting me on such short notice. I apologize. I forgot to tell Ertel that you were coming.
She was rather rude.
No, she was. It was a misunderstanding.
She's been here for a long time.
Yeah, she has.
She has, yes.
She looks like a hole.
Yes.
Indispensable.
One would say, yes.
She probably came with the bill.
Under penalty of death in some scenarios. But she does a good job, and regardless, that was my mistake. I'm sorry. Thank you for being here. Please have a seat. You notice there's 3 chairs right in front of his desk. There is another one off to the side that's got like a stack of books on it.
I'll sit on the ground next to the chairs. I'm just gonna pop
You
a
don't
squat.
want to sit on.
No, I'm fine. Need 3 chairs for you guys.
That's
I'm
it.
fine sitting here.
No, Aylin, I'm trying to go towards the chair at the
I just get
books.
comfy and
Here, I got you. You're not gonna sit on the floor during a meet. I'll just start picking up books and setting them on the
It's
floor.
not very rearranging his office.
Yeah,
And then I'll drag the chair over and set it next to the others.
you can see Anders looks pretty embarrassed. Of course, there's 4 of you. I should have cleared the.
No,
I'm
it's
so
good,
sorry.
man. I see how busy you are, and all those people. Look, it's already fixed. Don't even think nothing of it.
It's been an evening. It was a late evening and an early morning. My apologies.
Everything's
It's good.
fine.
We're good. I'll take a seat and just, I don't know, the far left chair.
How was your evening? I suppose it couldn't have gotten any worse.
It was all right.
Oh, well, yeah. Had a good night's rest.
Read a
Good.
bit.
Thank you.
Good.
Killed a bit.
Good.
Sorry yours was long from what you told us. That's.
Well, lots to go through when something like that happens. And you have all sorts of wild accusations at this point going around. You have people claiming it was a setup to, you know what? It's not even worth going into. I don't think it's anything worth merit.
Was there any word from the Captain Eliand or the guards report anything?
They are currently trying to find the guard who were on duty the evening that the shipment was brought in for the party.
So they were told about the shipment.
It was known, yes. Perhaps it was. I guess you could say it was an oversight on Gellen's part, but to be fair, he does like to throw parties, and whether or not any of you know, he generally tries to throw one at least a couple of times a month. So things like this tend to get glossed over from time to time.
So you found out about the fake emblem then?
We did. It is clear someone has staged that, and we are trying to get to the bottom of, again, who allowed that to pass through, because the rest of the shipment came separately from these boxes, which came in on a different ship.
Oh.
So someone had to allow and load the 2 crates of rats up with the rest of the party's goods. So, as I have been informed, Captain Eliander is currently investigating who was on duty that night.
Oh.
And,
That's good. Captain's investigating. Yeah. I'm glad.
well, he only, involves himself in the most pertinent of cases.
He does. He is a serious man. stalwart in his duties.
Yes, he is.
Have there been any reports of any other shipment discrepancies similar to this?
He reaches over, and you see him like reach kind of to the side of his desk, and he pulls up multiple binders and stacks of papers.
Ooh.
And sets it on the desk there.
Oh.
Yeah.
A few. One could say that smuggling is kind of a way of life here in the city of Saltmarsh. Most of it harmless. Most of it. So it's kind of like looking for a needle in the haystack, so to say.
Anything
regardless-
malicious like this, though?
I'm sorry?
Sorry for the interruption. Nothing malicious like this, though?
Oh, not necessarily malicious. I would say most things that get smuggled through here are food, wine. It's mostly people trying to avoid the crown's taxes.
Taxes.
I understand. Love them or hate them, it's what allows our society to function,
True. Roads, upkeep. Yeah, gotta do it.
right?
Mhm.
It's also not taxes, but the reason I've asked you here today is not necessarily directly related to the rats, I don't think, but potentially related to smuggling. As I was saying, most smuggling is harmless, most of it. Although some more nefarious individuals, pirates, mercenaries, will partake in the trade of slaves, which is absolutely abhorrent, and I, for one, will not stand for it. But
Slaves locally?
Yes. Well, it's sort of a... we obviously don't abide by that sort of lifestyle here in Saltmarsh, but in areas further up and down the coast, restrictions are sort of... a blind eye gets taken. Greed is a terrible poison. For example, Luskin to the north, near Neverwinter, is a haven for pirates, smugglers, and it's anything goes. But I would ask that you keep this conversation between us, because I don't quite know what to make of this just yet.
I'm gonna turn around and look towards the door. Is it just open?
It's closed.
Okay. I'll look back, and I'll kind of just peer around the room a little bit, and then I'll look back at him.
I suspect that there is smuggling going on here in the town of Saltmarsh that is of the more nefarious type. And I can't abide by that. And seeing your heroic actions last night at the Empty Net has me to believe that perhaps you're the type of group that I can rely on for this sort of endeavor. Yes?
Well, I believe so. Yeah.
What are you asking us?
Is it slaves you think are being traded?
I do. Amongst other things, but that being the worst of
Specifically.
them.
Okay.
Has this always been the way? For how long?
As long as Saltmarsh has existed. And unfortunately, with the recent expansions to the docks, as great as they are, and as much money as it brings into the city, it's also harder to keep an eye on everything that comes and goes. As with the rats. So, he reaches down, and it looks like he reaches into his pockets, and pulls out a key and unlocks a drawer in his desk and pulls out a stack of papers, shuts the drawer, locks it, puts the key back in his pocket, and takes the papers and opens them. And you see his eyes kind of skimming through. And he seems to sort of get lost for a moment, just almost like he kind of forgets he's got guests. And he kind of furrows his brow and looks back up. A few days ago, last week, a body washed up on the shore. It was found by a local fisherman. It washed up a bit south of Saltmarsh City proper. Regardless, he came to the authorities and informed them of what he found.
Who did?
I would like to, for their sake, at least for now, until we have answers, like to keep the name of the fisherman anonymous. I will tell you this, he's just a normal, average person. I don't even believe he makes his living fishing. Captain Eleander went down to investigate, and what he found was a bit concerning to me, in that the body that washed up on the shore was that of a woman, younger, very thin, frail, as though she had not eaten for some time, or eaten very little. Clothes in tatters, but the most concerning portion of this is the fact that she was bound.
Like wrists and ankles bound, or?
Yes.
Oh man.
I believe, well, I have a hunch. Are you familiar? Who of you are from Saltmarsh? Aelin and Colt? Kugal, not from here.
No, sir.
Redimir, is it? Not from here. Are either of you familiar with the old alchemist's house, a few miles south of here? Most people refer to it as being haunted.
Heard of it. Never visited.
Yeah. Heard of it, never visited.
That's fair. It's been vacant for 20 years, I believe so now. As long as I can remember.
I should visit.
Was she human, or?
Indeed. We don't know her name. No idea who it is. The house itself, according to our records, belonged to an alchemist who disappeared, died, whatever, years ago. That house has been empty ever since. And Saltmarsh, being the upright pillar of society, of course, didn't take long to start investigating and looting and breaking into it.
That sounds about right.
And so it fell into disrepair. Rumors start, of course, creepy old house, right? Oh, it's haunted. Oh, don't go there, it's scary. But throughout the years, people stopped going there altogether. I don't know if it was the rumors or if there actually is something nefarious going on there. I don't believe in ghosts myself, but judging from where that body washed up on the shore and the currents that day, thank you, I appreciate it. The door to the room sort of was swing open. The disheveled assistant kind of came in and shut the door. Have been meaning to get that fixed. Where was I? Regardless, rumors abound about this house, and people don't go there anymore. But based on the body, the current, I have a hard time not at least thinking that there are smugglers there using that as a cover.
Oh. I guess if people don't go there anymore, something may have set up shop and there's a reason, huh? That would make sense.
It makes sense to me. Not everybody agrees. They say the body could have come from anywhere, and rightfully so. It could have come from a ship at sea. This is a shot in the dark. But if it is a chance to put a stop to this, and maybe even there's a connection with what happened at the Empty Net, I don't know. I am just requesting that you go and check it out and see if there's anything there.
Has anyone reported a missing girl locally?
There was nobody missing.
Does anyone recognize her?
Well, we haven't released it to the public. We don't want to start a panic. It's not every day dead bodies just wash up on the shore, and it hasn't been that long since the hold of the Sea Princes had their reign of terror, and so we don't think that it could be related to the Sea Princes, but I'm not going to rule it out. The more likely explanation is someone trying to escape and drowning because they weren't able to get out of their bindings. I just want to rule it out.
So you're asking us to check this place out, it sounds like?
I am. Before you ask, I have tried to requisition some of the town guard to go, but either most of them are too afraid, or they just... Captain Eleander thinks this is an effort in futility.
Does he?
Which very well may be the case. I can't... I value his opinion, but I just... This is something that seems like it's going to need to be done.
Does he feel that no one is there? Or that it is too much for his guard to investigate?
Perhaps a little of both.
Well, that's sketchy.
A little bit of... I mean, again, one would have to be a little crazy to think that the place is actually haunted, but at the same time, the place is in such disrepair, it seems like it would be almost more dangerous to set up any kind of, I don't know, any kind of settlement within that operation, within that building. I mean, it's got to be close to collapsing in on itself.
Does anyone officially own that land? Or is it just kind of abandoned and that's that?
There was no next of kin for the alchemist. And from what I've understood, even in his days of life, very much kept to himself.
How long has it been since it was abandoned?
Roughly 20 years.
Oh, that's a decrepit place.
Is the land
So to
cor-
Captain Eleander's point, it could be in too bad of a shape to be a home for anything.
We could probably, that's gonna go off topic. I was saying, Red, if you stay for a while, we could probably fix the place up like that if there's a problem.
I'm gonna ask,
It's not
yeah,
what we're here for.
is the land for sale as well as the house?
House flippers.
D&D 5e House Flipper Edition. I would have to do some more research, but maybe, I don't know, but I feel like it would almost make more sense to blow the thing down.
Absolutely. I'm somewhat of an entrepreneur, and I'm very interested in the possibility of maybe tearing it down, building a new house, renting it out to people.
Kind of a little bit outside town and a little far away. Maybe more like a roadside inn.
Yeah, like a B&B.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
Destination resort.
Assuming there's no smugglers or ghosts in there. Both of which I bet we could handle either way.
Yeah, and the
Places
house is
like-
old. I can tear it down, replace it.
Places
Rent
like
it out.
these could be tainted.
Oh, you mean like curse places?
Maybe I'm not interested after all.
There are quite a few people who have heard tale of getting a little too close to the building and hearing screams. Not those of the living, but ghastly screams.
Oh.
Some have said that they've witnessed seeing an apparition itself there. From what I understand, one of the locals at the snapping line kind of looks through his papers. Goes by the name Whiskey Will.
That is
I've heard of Whiskey Will.
You know Whiskey Will.
What would I be like? Oh, of course.
Yeah, yep.
Great. Yes, Whiskey Will.
Well, he said something about ghosts?
He says stuff about a lot of things.
There's a lot of rumors we're hearing about the
Hence
ghosts
his
of
name,
Saltmarsh.
Whiskey Will.
Make a history check for me.
Whiskey Will. That's a nickname you had to earn, it sounds like.
10.
That's actually that's enough. DC was 10. You recall hearing him babble on in a drunken haze more than once about a time that he actually went into the house. And he claims that he knows what's really going on in there.
One night after a couple of bottles, he says he went in there. And he knows what it is. So he could be running a motel or whatever you said. But he's just a drunk at the place. Seen him dime a dozen.
With a name like that, it
Right.
makes sense.
Maybe
But
we swing
I
by,
mean, if
maybe
we-
ask him.
If you want some laughs, we can ask him details about it.
So did he say once that he did see one of the apparitions?
Who,
He saw
Whiskey
a
Will?
ghost? Yeah, what was it that he said?
He could be the mayor of the house for all from all the stories he said about it. It's hard to say fact from fiction with a couple bottles down, and not of mead, but of liquor. What time is it? He's probably not awake either.
I don't know him, so
We'll have to wait till after lunch if we want to talk to Whiskey Will.
Well, I'm sure we can check this place out for you, but I think Aelin had some question.
Oh, yes. Is there any type of compensation which we would be receiving for this? I only ask because if I'm taking time as well as my friends out of...
It's a fair question. Yes, there will be compensation.
Provided we come out alive.
Ooh, that's
That was supposed to be a joke. I'm sorry.
Dark.
It didn't land well.
That was very
ghosts
dark.
and spooky stuff.
It was just supposed to be funny. I
Whiskey
see
will
it.
save us.
It really didn't. It didn't. The joke didn't land well.
I'm willing to pay each of you 50 gold. If you are
Do you audibly
able,
gasp?
I do.
if you are able to bring back some sort of evidence that there's some nefarious activity going on there, and it's not just rumors. I can't, with any good conscience, pay you more than 5 apiece if there's nothing there.
Yeah, that sounds fair. 5 gold for a trip and back, just make sure it's okay. 50 if we get in life or death situations. That sounds totally fine with me. What do y'all think? Google, what do you think?
I'm down.
You down? 50 G sounds good to Kugo.
Okay. Do you know where it is? You know how to get there?
I got a vague idea. Isn't it, is it north? It's north from here, ain't it?
South of town.
South. That's what I meant. South of town.
Here, and he grabs a piece of parchment and unfurls it, and it's a map of the region.
Oh.
And points to. Let me pull it up here. And oh, it's already up there for the stream. Good. Points to an area about 4 miles south of town. Boom, boom. Right here. Did you see that?
Haunted house.
I didn't see it.
Hold it.
Oh, haunted house. Just
Oh, it
kidding.
does say house.
Allegedly.
Do you have an extra one of those we could maybe bring along by chance?
Here.
Oh.
I have this one. He rolls the one he just pointed to that he unfurled and hands it to you.
All right. I'll tuck it away in a pouch.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you so much.
You'll want to make sure that you have food, water with you. It's probably a half day's walk down there.
All right. Well, I suppose we may not be coming back in one day, so I guess pack to camp. Right? That sounds about right.
And again, please, don't mention the body to anyone just yet. We don't want to cause a panic.
Cool.
Oh, no. See, of course not. Wait, you said not to, so we will not.
Thank you.
Mm.
In the meantime, I will keep my ear to the ground with regard to the empty net debacle. I will be eagerly awaiting your return. If I don't see or hear from you in 2 days,
Yeah, just assume we're dead.
I wasn't going to say that.
Oh, that was a joke. I tried
Send
it
in
too.
whiskey will.
It did. It didn't work, Aelin.
I want you to come for me.
Whiskey will find us.
I should hope so. I will have a detachment sent to the house if I don't hear from you in a couple of days.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay. One other thing to note. There was one person who was not from here in town who has been reported missing. I don't know that that's where they were going, but from what I understand, it's the adventuring type. I guess, went there on some sort of... He's looking through his notes again. On some sort of dare or bet. It seems alcohol was involved.
Whiskey Will? He's
It
from
doesn't
here.
say, but-
Whiskey Will's from here.
Regardless.
Just somebody? No name?
No name.
How long ago was this?
Maybe a male,
He's
female,
been missing for...
dwarf, halfling, human.
Looks like about 9 days.
So no details on him at all.
Who reported this person?
It came in as a letter on my desk. I don't know who reported it.
That's weird. Whoever did that, they really didn't do a favor to their friend. Hey, someone's missing, and then they leave. I mean,
Perhaps it was the person who made the bet and they felt guilty.
maybe I don't know. Well, if we find someone there who is not nefarious or dead, we will be sure to help him out.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Is there like a work board for stuff after this that we could find jobs?
Absolutely. There are a few...
That was a positive outlook, Red. That's good stuff.
There are a few job boards posted around town. There's one just on the west side of the building here. Generally, there's one down by the docks, as well as one by the Hool Watch Tower. Yes.
And even with the body showing up and the missing person going there on a dare, Captain Eleander still didn't think it warranted investigation.
The dare is, again, it's another rumor. I don't know more than what is written on this note. It could be the ramblings of somebody wishing to play a prank. It could be anything. No one has come forward and said that their friend is missing.
That's weird. That is weird. Well, what are you gonna do? I mean, we'll just work with that. Work with missing person or creature or something.
Look, there have been plenty of reports in the past of people who say their friend has gone missing and went to the haunted house only to show up a few days later after copious amounts of drinking.
Oh, so it could be nothing too.
It could be nothing.
Okay. Keep it in the back pocket, back in mind.
A couple of days though, in 9 days. I mean, that's
It's a little long time, but when you get drunk enough, I mean, that's like 5 days in a forest. It could be. I mean, you never know.
Or perhaps someone skipping out on having to pay the bet.
Oh, petty. Yeah, it's true too. It's possible.
This, as much as I love this town, and I do love this town,
It's a good town.
it is a good town. It's not perfect.
No, it is not.
And
perfect.
there are
I wear scale mail for a reason.
people here that would do harm. So, keep that in mind. Right?
Right. Well, I guess that's. Well, we got the briefing. We'll be back for a debriefing, hopefully. And I suppose we'll go ahead and mosey on out of here and figure out our next move.
He stands up. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll stand up too. And thank you, Mr. Anders, sir.
Absolutely. And if you would, on your way out, give Ertel my apologies.
Yeah, we got you covered.
Thank you. You see him sit back down and kind of go back, put his head down, and start reading.
All right. I'll walk out the door and kind of wait for a moment for everyone to follow. And when they do, I want to catch Aelin and pull her aside and be like, Aelin, there's a chance of getting good graces with Ertl. You want to tell her. Like, it wasn't her fault. It was Anders. Like, it was no mistake on her end. You can get in good graces.
I suppose.
All right, good. Let's go.
Okay, you make your way back down the hallway and back into the lobby. You see Ertel is sitting there.
Wait, is it Ertl?
Yeah.
Ertl.
It's like
Ertl.
It's like Urkel with a T.
I thought it was Birtle.
Uh-uh.
Ertl. Okay. Ooh, that was close. Ertl. Mr. Anders said that he was very sorry for inconveniencing you. He forgot to let you know about the meeting.
It wasn't him that inconvenienced me. It was your bad attitude.
Well, I think that maybe you also probably maybe have a smidge of a bad attitude too. I do, however, apologize that we got off on the wrong foot. Hopefully, we will be better going forward.
Bridges burned.
Whatever. Kind of goes back to right.
We should leave.
Have a nice day, Miss Erdle.
And she looks up at you. You too, sweetie.
I'll walk out.
We have a Telltale Games. Earl remembers that.
It's the hero of Saltmarsh.
You all walk out and you find yourself back on the.
Was there any fire around her?
Was there any fire around
Yeah.
her? No.
Flames, anything?
No.
Just flames
The
of passion
ground
for-
directly around her chair
Huh?
starts to tremor. Just
You see.
I just walk out.
Her coffee kind of
And you-
hops across the desk.
Yeah, you like once you walk out into the street and the door closes, you can kind of hear her voice. Like it's muted and you can't tell what she's saying, but she's yelling something.
What'd you do?
Huh?
You.
I didn't do
Why
anything.
is she yelling when we left?
Well, she tried to. That woman had a lot of salt marsh in her. It's a good try.
She's a deranged old woman.
I don't know about the range. That's a bit far, but she's definitely a very, very salt marshes.
She is a salt marsh woman. What can I?
Like
How's
an
she
old
the
one.
woman?
Like
Right.
old,
Yeah.
Well, we should check the job boards.
Colt understands.
Oh, get this. This is our first job. We just got a
Yeah,
veteran
we
job
have
together. That's
three-
crazy,
we
isn't
have
it?
3 requests.
Look
Well,
at
2
that.
requests. Number 2.
So I was at the end of Mr. Andrews' speech there. I'll be honest. I was mostly paying attention, but I was thinking we got called something, right? Like we were being introduced.
Like a group.
Yeah.
Group name.
And get this. I thought this is gonna like this. So check it out. So we're trying to help people, right? Guide people on the right path, do the right thing.
For the right price.
For the not that part necessarily, but I was thinking like every sailor, what do they hope to see when they're in trouble? What's their beacon of hope?
I feel like I should know this, but I don't. I'm drawing a blank. What? Like a mermaid? Like,
Rescue Rangers.
No, Cabal,
That's
not
good.
rescue rangers. Look, we
No,
could
it's
be
good,
called
though.
this
The shore.
the lighthouse. Huh? And I look real proud of it, even if it sounds stupid as shit. I look super proud.
We're called the lighthouse.
We are the lighthouse. When you're in trouble, find the lighthouse. Just saying. And I'll cross my arms and look up and sky.
Do you think people might think that they're referring to a physical lighthouse?
Maybe. Well, what would you add to it?
I'm not sure. I was just a concern I had.
What do you think, Red?
Let's think about
This sounds awfully permanent.
it. Yes. And so we should choose wisely what it should be.
All right, so table
That's
it.
what Kugal is trying to say.
We'll table it. So next time we, I guess next time we have to go to wake up in the morning or something, because we're gonna have to camp while we're out there. No, before we go to sleep, we'll talk about it again. Right now, Lighthouse is in the lead. All right, go with ideas. Be thinking about it. This is good
It's
stuff.
on the short list.
Could do the lights of Saltmarsh. We're just throwing
That's not
things on
bad.
the wall.
I don't
It doesn't
like
have to
that.
be fine.
It doesn't have to be light necessarily. Is that a bit
The
of an
heroes of
overreach?
Saltmarsh.
That
like
no,
you.
no, we're not doing that. We don't want to. We don't want to blatantly be called something like that because that will make us look pompous, and that's not good. I don't want to look pompous.
We'll think about it.
All right. Well, I don't know about you guys. I got to stop by the markets real quick. We're going somewhere a little dangerous. I want to have a little more protection.
Get my goods from next week.
Yeah.
Also, we should look at the job boards. I read this book once where you look at all the quests that they say go to the same place. You get them all at once.
Maybe someone put something on there about my friend's missing. They're from out of
Right.
town. Please help me.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
They're like, hey, you're already going this way. I need these mushrooms that only grow over here. Give me some of those, or, you know.
Do either y'all stop anywhere else before we head out, other than the job board?
I just
'Cause
need
I gotta
my
make 2
goods.
stops after
I need
that.
my goods in
I
here.
wanna look to see if maybe at one of the shops that maybe there's some goods that I could buy to potentially help. I've never been on an adventure before, so I just want to make sure like if there's something
Well,
really
I'll
cool
grab my backpack
that maybe
and
I
meet
could
you
stop and
at
get
the
it. And it would be really exciting to go shopping for something that maybe we could like use. I don't know.
Oh.
I'm very excited, so I'm going faster and faster.
You got a lot of energy today. That's good
Slide
stuff.
away.
Sliding
I
away.
mean, except for the other adventure.
Oh yeah, Kuko, you gotta stop somewhere?
Just to grab some supplies back.
Okay, I suppose.
Gotta pack a bag with hopefully all the new supplies that we got.
So you gotta
from the
go
store.
back to your place too, then?
I mean, I want to get my backpack. I don't know if I'll need my rope or not. I mean, I don't really. I've never done this before.
Okay, let's reconvene at the markets because I gotta go by my place too to get my bag. So I'll sketch y'all there. We'll meet up in like I don't know 10 minutes.
Just quick, and then shopping.
Mhm.
Done.
Okay. I'm gonna start heading back to my place to get my bag.
Are you heading over to the?
And just pop in next door and get stuff.
Well,
And then I'll meet them at the market.
okay. I was asking if you were gonna go by the board that's right next to the town hall.
Yeah.
You want to see what's on the board?
See if there's anything good. I mean, gotta get on my
So-
WoW quest.
So everybody kind of goes their separate ways.
I'm
You see
power
Aelin and
walking.
Kugal walk
Power
off
walking.
together. Colt makes his way off in his direction. You go over to the job board.
I'm jealous. I want to get the job board.
Play too much WoW. Gotta get all the
You know, when we had to get the.
Anyway.
Farmer Bob is missing 8 geese.
Yeah,
Please find these geese. They are his livelihood.
this can stay.
Whiskey Joe says that he once upon a time saw a ghost near the bridge. If you can find evidence of the ghost, please provide to Whiskey.
Alright, this one sounds more interesting than this.
Okay.
Collect 8 teeth from a werebear.
I'm gonna put one up there. Please harass what's her face from town council. She annoyed me. Bring proof.
Earl? Why are you hating on Earl?
So you walk up to this job board, and there are a few things
Holy cow.
posted on there. What's the ones that you see?
Get the job board.
This looks
Yeah, y'all are
collaborative here.
I'm alone over here.
Sorry, let me get the rest of these stuff back in here.
My pack's easy. I've got a hammock. I've got a tarp.
So for the sake of brevity, we can say
Let's roleplay all of our homes. No, I'm just kidding.
we're not gonna go roleplay each of you at your houses
Gotta
picking
get
your
my
things
clothes,
up,
gotta get-
and we're not gonna roleplay every little interaction at the market. So, just in our downtime, if there's something you really want to do, we can.
She needs to shop, right?
I don't have my full binder, but isn't there someone who has like fancy goods? Like it's a lady, right? A lady.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted like. So my bag's really heavy sometimes, and so I was curious to see if she had a bag that could let me hold things that maybe like it wouldn't be so heavy for
Wasting
me.
no
anymore.
time going
Yeah,
after that
not
bag
at
of
all.
holding, huh?
Or anything else that's like really cool, like, oh, this is unique. Okay, this is really rare.
You know that the individual that you are kind of thinking of, you've interacted with them before, but they normally it's a business in procuring stuff. They don't just necessarily have it lying around.
Don't have any canceled orders, like.
They would not. Yeah. Yeah. Anything good on the job board there?
Who said that?
So, okay, we'll say this. Sake of brevity, you've all done your shopping. Even though you said 10 minutes, it takes the better part of an hour.
I was very excited about it quick.
You end up making your way back there much quicker than anybody else. So you kind of find yourself standing alone. Where was it you said you were going to meet?
In the markets.
Okay.
General markets.
Which is, I mean, literally still right there in that general area, like right across from town hall.
Mm-hmm.
So you find yourself standing there, and you see Redemir walking back up with what looks like multiple pieces of paper in his hand.
I got a big old backpack on now. It looks heavy.
I look like this guy now.
Oh, look at you, Red. You look, I
Yes.
guess, look ready to go.
Traveling clothes. Yes.
What you got there?
Some job ideas. Not really what I was looking for, but if we need, this the venturing thing doesn't work out.
Any,
Are we all together?
A few minutes later, Kugal and Aelin will approach.
All right. Yes. So, if we want to be racist to dwarves, we can
Whoa.
cut their beards for money.
No, absolutely not.
If you want to be an entertainer, we can show up somewhere.
I'm not that good at that.
If you want to, let's see, I don't know, deal with a boy for a day, entertain a boy for a day, I don't know, something like that. You can be highly rewarded with this one.
I can
Talk
actually,
to the. We have to talk to the guards. I think I was reading that right. We have to talk to the guards about this. Highly rewarded.
I can actually probably do this one. Maybe make a little toy for him or something.
We could get an immediate signing bonus of 25 gold if we work for onboard catering and stuff. No, this is just the fishing. But this is kind of the stuff I was looking for, sort of, for my next round.
And this is about the point where Aelin and Kugal, where you both kind of go up, and you hear him talk
Yes.
about working on a
Here's the
fishing boat.
racism. They're great with their language in this one.
Read it out loud for the stream.
2 years honors. The redoubtable and our right respectable city councilors, Miss Ida Olin and Sir G. Primwaters, and the rest. Dot, and the rest. Okay. We officially request and require that foreign dwarves, being dwarves not from our Saltmarsh and environs, to pay of 10 gold pieces and good local coin per half inch of their beards, or else have to shave their beards, or else depart from the area by month's end. Signaturing below, shearing are superb. I
Yes.
can't really read these, man. They just scribbles.
Yeah, so we could go shave dwarf beards for money.
They don't seem that well spoken either.
No.
I guess they
So
write
we've
like they
got
talk.
that. We've got daycare for a day. I was reading that right? Like that. Okay.
Sounds like it.
Daycare for a day. Shave the dwarves.
You can shave the dwarf.
At least this one says money. This one does not. We could be a musician, a thespian, or a dancer. We could do. This essentially is just saying find smugglers, if I'm reading that right. And then, yes, this is what I do. Sign up, get paid, fish, move on.
Yeah, so in like not everything you see posted on there is like a job for hire. Some of it's just like announcements and random shit that people will just throw up there.
This is the good stuff. Now go put it back. I assume we're not going to be racist to dwarves.
No, not. No.
We'll put this one back. We
Go
can
back
stay.
What if they willingly gave up their beard?
For a cut of the money? I don't know. We can always bring them the flyer and see. I assume we don't want to be a thespian or a musician.
No, nobody, no takers.
No takers on this.
How much
This
is
is a
the
joke.
How much is the beard worth?
The beard is worth 10 gold. There is no money in this. Mention. I'm gonna put that back on the board. So we could be daycare for a day, find
His
spies,
face is so hurt when he said you didn't want to be an actor.
or I'm gonna keep this one if this doesn't work, because this is where I will go. This is what I do. But I have a lot of experience, so I could probably get the full 25 gold.
Who's that posted by?
Saltmarsh Fisheries. It's by our buddy Anders. So I sell food to him already. Now I could just work for him directly. Cut out the middleman that I am by working for him.
I cut myself right on
I
out.
got myself out and I got paid for it.
Well, all right.
cool.
That's few
These are awesome.
jobs there. That's just in case.
Yes. Yes. If shit goes south, then yeah. But I keep that.
I mean, honestly, you can hold on to these.
Oh yeah, we'll keep the sword.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be the musicians or the the
You don't wanna-
spies or.
You don't want to act? You want to be a thespian? All right, what are we doing?
All right. Well, I don't want to be here too long. I really want to get a head start while we got some good daylight. I'm just here picking up a shield. Y'all know what you want?
I already got it.
Oh, you already bought it?
Well, I just got some stuff from home. There was nothing that I.
Oh. All right. Well, give me a minute. I'm just gonna go pick up a shield. I'll go to the vendor and find a shield.
Okay.
And gold.
And I mean, all in all, from when you departed from town hall to now, it has been about an hour and a half now. The sun is getting a little higher in the sky. Are y'all wanting to head directly south, or are we wanting to go by the snapping line and look for Whiskey Will? What are we doing?
Oh, I did want to talk to Whiskey Will. He claims he
I'll
knows
look up
his
at the
stuff.
sun. What time is it?
It's close to mid. It's not quite midday.
It's a little early for him to wake up, but we can see if he's awake.
Yeah, if he's not, we can just go. But are y'all good with that?
It's gonna be a party.
Can you lead us to him?
He's at the snapping line. It's where we just were. Well, that's where. Yeah. It's back
It's
by
it's
town.
literally across the street.
Yeah, it's next door.
Well, you sound familiar with him. You couldn't like walk us to him and be like, "Hey, these are my
I
friends."
mean, I can point out the drunk guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
He's
that's
gonna
good
have
enough.
fun with Whiskey Will. I mean, he's probably comatose.
All right, well, yeah.
Let's go onward.
Okay. I follow behind.
So you head across the street to the snapping line, which is another large tavern in Saltmarsh. And even though it's a little early, it does seem to be fairly busy with people kind of coming in there because it still is the weekend. There are people in there eating, a few drinking as well. As you approach, Red, you do spot Whiskey Will. He is laying perfectly on his back, about 10 feet to the side of the main entrance of this, and has his feet, his shoes are off. He's wearing no shoes. His overall look is, he's just looks gross. Sweaty, just hair kind of down to his shoulders, wavy, but tangled. There is about a 10 o'clock shadow on his face, and there's a bit of drool kind of going down the side of his mouth as he's snoring loudly, as his feet are elevated and up on a crate that's to the side, but he's just
See, yes. Let me introduce you to Whiskey Will, everybody.
He looks comfortable.
Feels a little early for him.
What's this place called again?
This is the snapping line. This is where I slept last night, and for a couple days now. With the
Well,
50 gold coming, we're upgrading.
Gold.
it looks like this might be a little bit of a difficult conversation. So, Google, you're proving good at this. You want to see if you can find out some good info from this guy?
Give it a shot.
But I know what wakes him up. Is it like the smell of whiskey that gets him going? Gets him out of the slumber?
I'll just take my staff and just kind of poke his foot a couple times and stand back a little bit.
Hey, man. I'm poking my foot.
Hey,
You all right over there?
good morning, Whiskey Will.
Am I dead?
No, it's just early. For you.
He looks directly at the sun.
Yeah, let's not do that. I like try to cover his eyes.
What? What?
So that alchemist house you go to.
You poked my feet.
When's the last time you went to that house down south?
I don't even know what day it is.
You want to know about the house? That old
Go
place?
buy him a drink. I just say that.
I got him. I got him. I'll head over to the bar.
So you kind of walk inside. It's a little busy, but you're able to make your way up to the bar proper, and you see Hannah Rist is actually behind the counter there, who is one of the owners of the snapping line. You know her to be very friendly, kind of upstanding, kind of pillar of society in a sense, if you will. Oh, well, if it isn't Mr. Coulter, how you doing?
Hello, ma'am. It is nice to see you.
I heard a lot about you.
Good things. I
Past
hope.
couple days, Savior of Saltmarsh.
I'm actually. You know what? I am trying to save someone right now, and the only cure is one ale, if you don't mind.
You know how many people have told me that before now. Don't be trying to pull the wool over my eyes.
Oh, I'm
If
not.
the Savior of Saltmarsh needs an ale, he just needs to ask. It don't matter how early it is.
I greatly appreciate that, ma'am. But I assure you, it's not for me. It's for my friend, Will and Whiskey.
Oh, Whiskey Will. Already?
Well, we were hoping he could tell us a little bit about the. I'm sure you've heard about the rumors about the alchemist's house.
Oh, that haunted house.
Yeah, that's what
I
people
wouldn't
say.
go
It's
there.
crazy. But Whiskey Will yells about it sometimes or something, so we're hoping a drink
Oh,
may.
constantly. He won't shut up about the place.
That's we hope he won't shut up to us for a moment.
Well, look, late at night, folks come in here. They want to hear a good story. And look, I can't say that Whiskey Will isn't a bit of a businessman in of himself.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't telling no stories unless you buy him a drink. So I think you're one step ahead of the game.
Oh, perfect.
As
Look
I
at
would
that.
assume you would be.
God, Red
And
is so
she
damn good
turned-
at this.
she turns around and pours an ale and hands it over to you.
And then I start reaching in my pouch.
No,
saying,
no,
"Ma'am,
no. Your money's no good here. Well, not right now. Maybe later.
Well, I thank you very much. I will return the favor in the future. And this is an investment. Thank you very much for this.
Well, don't you worry about a thing.
All right, you have a good day. I might be back.
Yep. I hope to see you again.
I'll rush out.
Hate to see you leave. Good to watch. Walk away.
Everyone makes so damn weird.
Too bad we're running around.
I come up to Red and I just have the
This
ale.
is what you got. This is not. This will work, I guess.
I hope so.
Whiskey Will. This.
Yeah.
Whiskey, I got you some water.
You see, have you ever seen in the cartoons when you have like the smell lines and it like goes and then like
Yeah.
it might not be whiskey, but it'll do the trick. He gets up and immediately is just like, oh man, thanks, brother. Yeah, this is a good breakfast. They say it's the most important meal of the day. And he just pounds this thing.
Yes, breakfast is good. So when's the last time you went to that house down south?
Oh man, you're just right on it, huh?
Yes.
I'll tell you what.
You know me. You've seen me around.
I don't know
bought
who
you a
you
drink
are.
partially.
He's the friendly fellow that just gave you a drink. He is a good guy.
I thought you gave me the drink.
But no, I gave him the drink, and then he gave the drink to you.
You drank my drink?
Has to too.
And he looks at the mug he's holding.
That's your crowning achievement.
There ain't nothing in here.
That's all you.
What's in your tum-tum now?
That sounds like a problem that I will fix.
If
You just keep talking to my friend.
If you want to hear about the haunted house, I can
send-
tell you all about it. It's
I
going
send
to
you a
cost,
message.
it's gonna
Stronger
cost
stuff.
you a drink.
Right, don't you worry. Just you start telling him, and I will bring you a drink right now. Look at me walking away, going to get it. I'm walking. I'm turning and talking to him at the same time. I'm getting the drink right now. Look at this. I'm going back inside.
He could be going anywhere.
That is the hero of Saltmarsh. The guy who saved the boats the other day. The big fish, the big haul and stuff like that. That's him. He did that. He's a hero.
There's no boats in Saltmarsh.
No, sometimes. But
Literally, there's boats in sight
Yeah.
right now.
yeah, sometimes there's no boats. Sometimes there's, it's like life is one big boat, or like this bar's one big boat.
You one of them scholar types? You
No.
smart.
No, but do you like to arm wrestle? Because he does.
Whoa. Where'd you come from?
Sure.
He been here the whole time.
He's sneaky.
You sneaky
Very, very
bastard.
sneaky, sir. Would an arm wrestling help?
No.
Oh well,
A whiskey would help.
that I think we can do. And I turn around away.
At this point, Whiskey Will gets up and he puts his other shoe on and stumbles past you, kind of like moves past you and walks into the bar or into the tavern. And hey, man, I've seen you before.
Well, you sure have, Whiskey Will. I'm right now getting a nice whiskey for you. So you supposed to be talking to my friend Red about that house. Remember? That's
Guess we should
the
go
trade.
outside.
Huh?
Free whiskey
Yes.
for information on the Alchemist house,
You want to know about the haunted house?
the haunted house.
I'll tell you that story for a whiskey.
You got a deal. You go away
I'm
with
gonna
my
be
friend.
over here.
All right, you go over there, and I'll turn back to my group. Who are they within earshot?
Yeah.
You're walking in the door. We're just...
Let's have it. We're gonna sit with them over there. I'm getting the.
Oh yes, we will.
Hannah brings you 2 whiskeys and slides it across, and
You are just the.
Do we get a
Did you see
reaction
that?
from the other
Did you see
patients?
that?
Be like,
Did you see
oh,
that?
make a perception check.
Damn, man. We both rolled twos.
Inspiration.
Oh, it's
Oh, good save.
Natural 20.
Oh.
So somebody walks right in front of your sight line, Red.
Yeah.
Like right at the worst time. You see the wink.
Hey, it's the hero Saltmarsh over there, everybody!
Let's not distract from the.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah, I do the fireworks.
Thank y'all
Oh,
so,
you can do that too, huh?
so much. All right, Whiskey Will. Look at this. Look at this. And I sit and I have both those whiskeys in my hands right now. You know what this is, don't you? All right. Now you watch this. This is in honor of our friendship. And I'll set one in front of him. Smells good, right? Now, This one over here just might join that one if you tell that story to my friend Red and the rest of us. Right here. I didn't want it. I didn't even know what to do. I might throw it away, but yours for the story.
I did hear that if there was anyone to tell about what really is going on at that house, that it was you. That you knew.
That's because I'm the only one who been there. Really, everybody else is making stories.
Well, what's going on there?
You want to know about the...
Do I want to know?
He takes a swig of his drink. And he takes another swig of his drink. You know, I've been wandering all over these parts for years. But nothing could have prepared me for what I saw in that mansion.
Well, what was it?
I'll tell you. I thought I was gonna find some food, some free food, maybe some wine, something real fancy. I mean, fancy folk live in the mansions. I mean, what if it's a little worn down?
Sure. Taxes. They're expensive.
Takes another drink. But I got more than I bargained for.
What'd you bargain for?
I'll tell you what I bargained for. As soon as I stepped foot in that house, I could feel it, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
Like danger?
What was it? Yeah.
Evil?
Tell us. Tell us more.
The air. It was icy cold. And the walls, they just like seemed to close in on me. But it wasn't just that. There were strange sounds. Whispers.
Whispers, huh?
Groans. It's like the place was alive.
I'm watching his face as he's doing this. Can I kind of get a read on what he's saying? Like if he's just like rambling, or if he's like he starts like sobering
Make an
and serious
insight
right
check.
there? Okay. Oh, buddy. I am not good at this, but I got a 19 total.
Okay. His eyes are bloodshot. One of his eyes just seems like it still just hasn't woken all the way up yet.
It's looking over here.
Yeah. But it's like Steve Buscemi's character from Big Daddy. It's like kind of looking in different directions. But he does seem genuinely kind of freaked out a little bit.
Okay.
But even with it's whiskey, Will.
He's toasted. Especially thanks to us.
He seemed toasted already when he woke up. Like the party's still going. He was just taking a break. But you see his eyes widen a little bit. I saw things too.
What kind of thing?
Ghostly things. Ghostly apparitions.
That sounds awful. You had to deal with that.
Moving shadows. Things, objects, plates that seem to move on their own.
On their own.
It was like the house was playing tricks on me.
What is Miss Riss doing? Is she still at the bar, or is she kind of...
She's
Staring at a
she's
altar.
she is kind of addressing the guests as they come and go, but periodically as you glance over there, you see she's not like staring over there, but you catch the glance every now and again that she's kind of looking over in your general direction. his glass is empty. Did you put this straw in here?
I did, and you can put it in this next glass.
Okay. And grabs it and takes the straw and plops it in. You see when he holds it, his hands are shaking a little bit, though, at this point.
Is it shaking like a? It looks like a drunk, like a, or like
No.
a more like a slightly scared.
Like a slightly scared.
Okay.
Look, y'all think I'm crazy. Everybody thinks old Whiskey Will is crazy. But I'm telling you, I tried to leave. Okay? I tried to run. I ain't no dummy. But the doors, they slammed shut. Right in my face.
How'd you get out?
I was trapped like a rat.
Get into that, I think, Red.
How did you escape?
I stumbled through the dark. I didn't have a torch, nothing. Was tripping over everything. House is a wreck. Just debris everywhere. Just hearing strange voices calling my name. Will. William. Nobody calls me William. My mama don't call me William. I was scared. I had my wits.
But I take it we're here with you right now.
Look, I finally managed to find my way out of there. But I'll never forget all the things I seen in there. Okay? It's cursed. It's cursed! Alright?
How'd you finally get out?
I found the door. The other door.
Oh.
There's more than one door in the house.
Was it on the same level?
Well, he might not. That might be asking a bit much. It was pure dark for what he said.
I couldn't see a thing. So, anyways, what are y'all doing?
Well, we
Y'all want to hang out?
just wanted to know about the haunted place, which you told us, and we thank you. for
Why
that.
are you asking about it?
We keep hearing rumors about it too, and we were curious to hear about it, see someone who actually knows about it, what they got to say. And you may not believe me, Whiskey Will, but I believe you. I believe you went through that.
And now we're gonna go on a pub crawl. We're gonna go drink all around town.
Well, I'm not a big drinker myself, but
You ain't going to the house, are you?
We're doing a pub crawl.
Make a deception check.
This way. 21.
Can I come with you on the pub crawl?
We gotta go get some things first. But we'll start in a couple hours. We'll meet you at the. We're at the snapping line now. We'll meet you at the. I say the name because I know of the other place. Instantaneously. We'll meet you at the Empty Net.
You want to meet at the net? When?
Give us 2 hours. We'll meet you there.
All right, I can meet you there. 2 hours.
We'll see you then.
if we aren't there, Whiskey Will, just know that we have business with the councilman at some point, so we may be called. We're waiting for word from us. We may be called to go deal with them. So we're gonna try to be there, but if we can't,
Have a drink for us.
it's not because we're assholes or anything.
I send you a message say we're done.
He's a good guy. Why are you doing this to him?
All right, Whiskey Will. We'll see you in a couple hours. Cheers.
Thanks again for the information.
The drink is empty again.
And that one you gotta solve on your own, friend. Until next time, maybe I'll hook you up again.
All right. Well,
We'll start rotating.
don't go to the house. Don't go to it.
Right. I'll stand up. Head out.
Out we go.
Heading out into the street.
Mm.
Okay. That's where we're gonna end tonight's session. Oh man. Good job, y'all.
I don't know why my friend Red is mean to the drunk guy. He just wants friends. He gonna go there with nobody, on his lonesome.
Whiskey Will's gonna be fine.
Probably forget all about the conversation.
He
No.
probably will. Actually, he got enough drunk by himself.
I gotta talk to a character about it.
Anything y'all got before we call it?
No, that was
Before we
fun.
get out of here?
That was fun.
That was
I liked
good.
it.
Sober up, Whiskey
fun.
Will.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about our group name whenever we can. We gotta figure out something.
Yeah, I got 4 miles of traveling.
Dude, I'm weigh a ton too. My walk speed's 20 feet. Heads up. I got weight. You see me going like, all right, let's go.
Okay, well, with that, I guess we're all finished up here tonight, folks. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Much love to everybody who joined us tonight. Thank you for, hanging out with us. We will be back not next week, not next Friday, but the Friday after on the 26th, 7:30, to pick up right here where we left off. If you enjoyed the stream and you want to support the channel, we greatly appreciate it. Please give us a follow, subscribe. That is what allowed us to create this fine studio that we're in, and we are continuing to make upgrades too. So, again, thanks again, and we will see you next time.
Night-night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.